Should we start?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I was just making sure I knew when to expect pizza, which might be in like 20 to 30 minutes.
Mm.
So it has been, a week or two. It's now kind of late-ish November. Because I believe that's the month we're in, yes? You
Yes,
figured that out.
we're still in November.
We're still in November.
From going back in the VODs.
All right.
We're still in November, which is kind of
I'm also
a
going to check people's birthdays real quick, because I kind of forgot.
I don't even remember my own birthday, so you're fine.
yeah. You're fine with
Kuma,
me because it's not
Kuma,
until January.
I think I forgot to have you set your birthday.
Yeah, that thing.
You should probably do that.
Where do I put that though?
Just put it in the notes.
Got it.
Aliens, I tell you.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
Wait
we're
a
gonna let
second, we
him.
skipped I think we accidentally skipped Oblivion's birthday.
Really?
We started in November.
No, we started back in October.
Was that early October or mid-October?
We started in early October. Okay, so Mist
Oh,
Buffalo was our second session, right?
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, so we started. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I didn't even know you were keeping
Your-
track of that shit. So I'm just like
Your birthday literally would have been between the first and second session.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Because I think we started in early October. All right, so Oblivion. We're gonna go ahead and go over the process of aging up
So technically,
retroactively.
Kelly's the youngest.
So, Oblivion, here's what you do. You go to your
Yeah.
age counter and you take it up by 1.
Yes.
You will notice that your luck points have gone down. You can now only have a max luck of 1.
It's fine.
However, you know your attributes, body, tech, heart, and mind?
Yeah.
Pick one of those and push it up by 1. Congratulations, you are now a year older. Alright, I gotta check Alright. So, January, June...
God fucking damn it.
So Kelly's
All right.
literally the youngest out of the group.
She is.
What's the aliens I tell you?
So at some point, pick an actual date rather than just was born.
I'm trying my best here, but I'm trying to
It
make sure it's accurate.
It doesn't matter what it was.
Okay, fine.
Like, your birthday could have been recently, it could happen soon. It's whatever.
Or it could be later down the road.
Yeah, it could be any point in the year. It doesn't really matter. It's just that I need to keep track of it so I can, so we can maybe have a session dedicated to your birthday, which unfortunately Trevor did not get, and I feel a little bad.
Meh.
Trevor, do you want to tell us about the birthday that happened back in October that we all completely missed?
Not really.
All right, that's fair.
So, like, Oblivion himself, he does not give two shits about his own birthday.
Nope.
So I've gotten to inform my sister that there's aliens in the computer.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
I swear to fuck, I just...
I don't.
Anyway.
What about this?
Anyways. So yeah, so for future reference, whenever you have your birthday, if it seems like I haven't noticed, let me know. And of course, you will be able to take your age up counter by 1, your max luck will go down by 1, but one of your attributes of your choosing will go up by 1.
Okay.
Which is pretty powerful. I mean, you won't be able to reroll as much, but you will just generally have better rolls overall for a specific select... for rolls involving whatever attribute you decided to go with. Anyways. So it is now late November. Do we want to say it's before or after Thanksgiving?
Normally with my school, like, if it's like the week on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the week of Thanksgiving break you have off, so...
Wow. For my school, it was like the day of and the day before and after, and that was it. Just 3 days.
Your
So
school's
we had a full...
hardcore.
It's like my school had a full week.
Your school's hardcore
For
respawn.
for me, it's like the day, like we can only get like 4 days. in some regard. But
I get 2
know.
weeks.
we
Hey, you know what? Thanksgiving is on a Thursday. How about it just is Thanksgiving today? How's that sound?
so no
Oh, okay.
classes.
You guys are still gonna have classes, but it's super laid back. You don't have to worry about actually like turning anything in or doing major assignments.
Teachers are lazy as fuck because it's Thanksgiving.
Mm.
Yeah, your teachers are just gonna talk about you some stuff. Actually, you know what? Classes are gonna be half as long, so school's only gonna last about half the day. Lunch is gonna have the like extra cool stuff, and then you guys just get to go home and have the rest of the day to yourselves, pretty much, to spend with
Okay.
your family. So it's gonna be a short day.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna
Hella.
shut my window, cause
The teachers are still gonna teach you stuff, but it's probably gonna be things that aren't necessarily part of the regular curriculum for whatever part of the year you're in.
okay.
It's just whatever they feel like talking about, really, for the day.
Yep.
There will be no tests or pop quizzes. Hooray.
Woo.
Well, there would be if any of your teachers were jerks, but they're all pretty nice people.
Yep.
Small town.
Aliens.
Oh my
Small
God.
towns with small class sizes are like that usually.
Hella.
Also, we will say that. Also, Kuma, if you want, we can say that in the time between the last session and this session, you did manage to find a way to get yourself enrolled in school, so you can actually go with everyone else to class and such. We'll gloss over the
No.
details because legally, I don't think any of this would have been possible.
I was going to say, I don't think the education system would kind of accept me coming in halfway through the year.
He threatened
we're-
with an alien gun.
We're going to just gloss over the legality situation and just, yep, you're part of the school now. It's fine.
He threatened
Fine.
to blast the city.
It's one of those things where the town hall was like, well, we kind of can't let him hanging, and she's kind of just
Look.
supporting him on his own.
Look, even the best stories have plot holes. If this is the one that sinks my ship, so be it.
Nah, we're just gonna say Child Protective Services came in at some point in time and be like, we need him in there.
And he just was in there, and that was
And
it.
he just was in there.
He just started going to school.
Alien Rambo.
Oh my God, agent.
Anyways,
Is there
so
a
would anyone
court?
like to talk? Would anyone like to talk about their mornings and how it be? About anything they dreamed about?
That really? Also, should we go do a recap a little bit?
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, it's been a week, and amazingly, I've forgotten everything, despite
How
every other
could
week
you?
where I remembered everything. Who
Well,
would
that's
like to
because
do
there's
the
crazy
who
shit
would,
happening.
Who would like to do the recap? Primarily, for Agent who was not here.
Aliens.
I forgot we left him in the burrito.
I was burrito. I blame the aliens.
Oh my God. Fuck, since I've been doing the recaps, why don't someone else do the recap
Well-
session?
I nominate Trevor.
Why?
Trevor, would you like to do today's recap?
What the fuck even happened last week? All right, we're into the junkyard.
Yeah, we went to the
Oh my
junkyard.
god.
Okay.
How could you forget? We rolled 2 4 successes.
This is why I don't do the recaps. My brain is not on like 100% on all of these.
I nominate Kuma.
Alright, fine. So, during which, we decided as a group that at some point in time, after we did our thing with our quote-unquote anchors, for most of us, we would meet at the junkyard, figure out what was there, and find the secret science lab of Steve. No. The science dude that I'm having a hard time remembering the name of for
I even have a
character.
hard time. I call him Ted's dad because that's
Ted's
really
dad.
yeah.
Because Ted's dad was a scientist. So, after some finagling in terms of stealth to try to get past the animal people, and one teacher going out butt naked because of the fact it was the best distraction he could think of, we all met at the junkyard to where we discovered.
It wasn't the best distraction you could think of. It was just the funnest one for him at the given time.
He flashed the men in suits.
They deserved it.
We contemplated the fact of whether or not that particular individual was Agent's dad due to the chaotic nature of his decision making, but passed it off as
Hey.
nothing more than that. But as we got to the junkyard, we discovered 2 things. one, the junkyard guy is very nice, and two, we don't give Riley sugar whatever we do. Pray less
But he
that we
loves
do.
it.
But he loves it.
That we don't go. He doesn't go on a rampage. As we entered, we found out that Ted's dad has been stocking and creating a lot of technological nonsense, utilizing the rocks that make you go positively insane. We also
They're really
found out.
nice rocks.
We also found out what happened and what caused him to stop doing this superhero comic book like thing, as Kelly had found out by reading journals, books, and logs. And by some fucking stroke of luck, found out what the car wash was, being a temporal portal device that could take people from point A to point B in other universes, I guess. I'm generalizing it. There's probably a more complicated fucking reason for it. By then, Trevor decided to go home and fight his sister, or go home in general. Myself as Riley, and Kelly went back up to the mountain to go talk to Ted's dad, and we kind of just solidified some questions we have about it, as well as he answered some questions about some other things we had about it.
Like the
And
fact that the thing that he's in is a spaceship.
yeah, that thing.
Wait, it's a spaceship?
Yeah!
Aliens!
Oh my god.
Jerry,
So, you can
Jerry's
kinda tell.
stuck in a spaceship.
So after we all went home, or everyone went home, the important people went home. They found out that the Russian guy, fuck,
James.
James, I had it on the tip of my tongue.
Friend James.
James got their homework so that they could do it, so they could actually survive school stuff. So yeah, that was the end. Well, besides the fact that Kelly was having an existential crisis trying to figure out how everything was put together, as is all protagonists in every story.
I'm not a protag.
But that's where we ended it, right there. So
Protag energy? Damn.
No! Agent's character gives off more protag feelings than Kelly. In
we
this.
can talk about the details later, but right now that's where we're at.
Yeah. All right. So you all learned a bunch of stuff. All very good, all very interesting. And someone will have to in-character fill in Allison at some point. Unless, of course, you want to say that just happened in the
Well,
last
since
few
it's been a fucking week or two.
I was gonna say,
weeks.
some
Yeah.
point in time in class.
All right.
Aren't I still being punished and having to sleep outside?
Probably.
Oh,
Fuck.
also, Oblivion. What's Oblivion's punishment for skipping school that day?
Well, Oblivion, do you want to tell everyone?
Oh no.
That's so evil. Is he a pretty princess?
Trevor, what'd you do?
Don't worry about
What
it.
happened?
No.
Trevor?
So Oblivion,
no.
Oblivion has elected not to let people know his punishment for skipping school. It seems.
See, now I'm questioning why people enrolled me in the school system. Now I have to deal with the punishment of skipping school.
Well, the punishment is inflicted by one's parents. Yours
Oh.
probably is.
Aliens.
Not too concerned about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I still have the freedom to like ditch. All right.
However, speaking of the things that have happened in the last couple of weeks, it has of course been like a week or two. Does anyone want to talk about anything in particular that they did in that time, within that time period?
Ruts.
No.
Kelly did attempt to talk to Ted
Mhm.
a little bit. He didn't share much other than he has the rock under Osbor's words. It's being washed
Observation.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. And actually, Respawn.
Mhm.
The other thing Kelly found out with the gloves. Where did she find that? About that stuff?
Are we talking about the relation to the picture?
No.
I
Few days ago.
Oh, where you found out about the
Yeah.
you had gone back to the lab to search for anything else, and you found one last little thing about him.
Okay.
And of course, Scruffy and the dogs are happy to see you.
Yep.
I like Scruffy.
Garver's a friendly old guy.
I want to hug him.
But Kelly basically found out a little page saying that the gloves seem to respond to intent.
Mm-hmm.
Intent to what? Who knows? But they seem to respond to intent.
Do not betray the compass, Captain
I
Jack
had
Sparrow.
a grand idea.
Oh, I was worried. But Kelly basically hasn't done much since she's hanged around the nutty art teacher, Mr. Henderson, for a little bit. But other than that, she's kind of been good. Like 1 or 2 weeks.
All right.
But,
So she's been continuing the investigation in little ways and, talking to people.
yeah.
All right. Anyone else? Allison, what have you been doing for the last 2 weeks?
Conspiracy theories on aliens.
Oh my god.
God. This is not
Anything in particular? Have you been talking to fucking Craig?
He's part of the fucking tinfoil society.
Have you been talking to Craig again?
I'm
Yes.
talking to Craig
God
too
damn
much.
We're talking with Craig and theorizing about why aliens are here and how they're creating these monsters and anomalies.
All right. Well, I mean,
Is that
do you
all?
want to have a legitimate conversation with Craig, or
Oh,
do we just want
no.
to say it happened and you're being nutty?
We'll say it happened for now and have the conversation later on, just so we can get the session going.
Well, I mean, this is part of the session. It's figuring out what happened while we were away, what happened during the commercial break.
That is fair.
It's all part of the session.
Yeah.
I mean, up to you, I guess, in the end, or we can just move on. You are the DM. It's up to you. I don't mind either way.
I'm asking what you want to have as part of the intro.
You guys are both Canadians.
Aliens. I mean, I guess we could talk to Craig for a little bit. Just have a little, I guess, talk with him.
Welcome
So we
with your
can,
time, Craig.
you just found him out in the woods somewhere. I'm not gonna have him.
Normal.
Yeah. We'll say it was like sometime during the day when he's slightly less hostile.
Yeah.
Craig kind of assumes that if anything's gonna come and try and kill him, it'll be in the dark.
Yeah.
So you find his ramshackle campsite, wherever the fuck.
Yes. I would approach and say, Craig.
It's you again. What do you want?
So we learned some things, and I thought you may want to hear.
Alright.
So apparently, there's a spaceship here, and I believe there to be aliens involved with what's going on.
It's bogus.
I mean, there's a spaceship in the mountain.
Couldn't be. No way you can get a ship under a mountain.
Well, it
Nah.
might have been there longer than the mountain.
Nah. Mountain's been there for a long time. Now you see, it's probably them Wendigos getting into your brain.
Oh my god.
But what if the Wendigos are the aliens, and they've been here long enough the mountain, so over time grew over the spaceship? Because the Wendigo, from how we understand them as of right now, we see them as more of something having bad happen to other people, and then get turned into Wendigo. But what if the Wendigo are just aliens that are turning people into aliens?
I doubt it. If they had a ship, they'd be smarter. Wendigo around these parts ain't so smart.
Again, if the spaceship has been here a long time, maybe something happened to cause them to lose memory or the such, like amnesia.
It's a bit of a far reach, but I suppose I can see your logic.
This is an idea zone. I want to get some of your input on this.
So I'm just gonna recap this real quick. You're saying that some long ago time before a mountain was here. Spaceship crashed. Hang on, I'm getting a call.
What kind of time area are you from?
He's got them satellite phones.
Damn, Craig is an alien. Must be fucking Riley's father. God damn it.
Pizza's here. I'll be right back. They decided to call instead of text like a normal person. Who
Yeah.
knows?
What? BC.
Craig is Riley's father, confirmed. Both of them are crazy and living somewhere weird. They're both aliens. Knew it.
Oh my god. Ah, BC.
Why is
What
that
do
true?
you want?
Why is what true?
Been scrolling Twitter the whole time we've been just starting it, and it's like a Destiny 2 thing. It's like Guardians bullying Zol, and I'm just like, it's really just like people pointing at like a tiny ass snake, like shit talking it. I'm like, yeah, sounds pretty accurate.
Oh,
Yes,
what the fuck's the Florida man shit?
What do you mean Florida?
Baby man, little baby man.
Yeah, that video.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
was
don't
scrolling Twitter and I saw that pop up. I was like, and this is Florida man in a nutshell right here, turning a gator into Gatorade. Florida man intensifies.
Oh my god.
Am I wrong though?
Alright. So let me recap what you're saying here. You're saying that some long ago time before a mountain was here, spaceship crashed. Whole bunch of amnesiac Wendigo aliens came flooding out, been living here ever since. And eventually a mountain just kind of formed on top of the ship for some reason.
Yes.
I don't believe a bit of it.
Well, it might not be true. It is a theory.
I suppose.
Because with what's been going around here, a lot of things are in play, and a lot of things are plausible to what is the actuality of things. What is your thoughts on this?
Well, can't say I've seen much to prove it. But I also can't say I can disprove it any more than anyone down in the town can disprove my own theories.
This is fair.
You know, I seen one of them Wendigos before, you know.
Where?
Attacked my campsite while I was out. Came back, saw it. Dang thing was trying to eat my radio.
He's trying to eat your radio. Why would
Left
a
it.
Wendigo attack a radio?
I left it playing. I can only assume that the thing heard the voices coming through. Started ripping it up.
Maybe we should hunt the Wendigo. They sound dangerous.
What do you think I'm out here doing? No one else has volunteered, and I try to tell them, and they ain't done nothing. They're wily creatures. Not very smart, as far as I can tell. But they hide. They hide good. Gotta wait for them. Gotta wait for them to come to you.
Well, didn't you say they particularly prefer hunting like children?
Yeah, I can only assume.
I have an idea. It's a bad idea.
Don't use me as bait.
Shh, you're not here, Kelly. Get out of my head. Okay. Yeah, apologize for disturbing you, Craig. Just thought I'd tell you about that. Thought you might be interested in what I had to say.
It's definitely something to think about, if nothing else.
Yeah, it keeps the mind going. Anyways, I'm gonna head back towards town and find some of the others. Have a good one, Craig. Try not to shoot me, please.
Good luck.
That's not reassuring, Craig.
All right. So,
Hesitantly, watch over my shoulder as I walk back to the town.
that's a conversation you had with him sometime in the last 2 weeks. You might have told the others about it. That's up to you.
Probably would have mentioned it a little bit that I went to go talk to him about the theory or two.
All right. So we got what Kelly and Allison did in the last 2 weeks. Trevor, other than punishment for skipping out on school,
Yes.
anything you did in the last 2 weeks?
Probably not, because trying to keep head down after that shit.
After the missing from school incident.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nope, not fucking with that again.
So you've just been doing good things. Just been doing basic day-to-day life.
Yes.
All right, fair enough. Kid's been scared straight.
For now.
Curious.
And what's Wiley?
And that leaves Riley. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me. Okay. So,
Alien.
let me get my paper. So, Riley's been busy because he's been informed, because he keeps track of the mail, because mom can't do it, that Riley has been enrolled in the school system due to the Child Protective Services. So, he got excited, and ever since then, he has been in the basement, writing, working on his penmanship, writing sentences, being able to formulate sentences. So he has been trying to get better and better and better at understanding English to an extent. So that if he really tried, he would sound normal. So he wouldn't have his speech impediment. He wouldn't be, block texting it basically. As well as every now and then he would try to figure out what's going on in the town. Not, be super obvious, but every now and then he'd just walk around town, probably like once a day, and just, watch the people, make sure make sure he doesn't get involved with anything he's not supposed to be, and, not cause a ruckus, because rule number 1 is survival. But other than that, that's generally what he's been doing. I don't know if I want to do the dream thing yet. I mean, I can, but I'm
Dream
not
thing?
sure about it. Well, we were talking about like, oh, did you guys dream anything during the night? It's like,
I mean, that's just an option for everyone. If there's anything specific that I want to have conveyed through a dream, I will just be like, no, here's what you dreamed.
okay.
But
I
at this
mean,
particular instance, you're all just free to dream whatever it is you dream.
I think we'll hold off on that particular, because I have a thing and I want to make sure that comes in at the right time, and I don't think right now is the right time. So sleeping's normal, getting excited for school, being super happy about it, normal kid things.
Mm-hmm.
That's everyone unless
Yeah, that's everyone. And it took
That's
like
everybody.
a half an hour for us to get to this point.
It's fine. That's pretty normal. Anyways. So it is a school day. You all are being woken up by alarms and perhaps various other means, if need be.
Um,
How's your mornings?
Kelly just kind of just does her normal wake up. Um, go and brushes her hair because holy cow, when she wakes up, it it is really poofy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she brushes it out, and she gets her clothes on, and so forth, like changes clothes, puts her journal into her bag, um, goes in the kitchen, and eats some breakfast, and starts to head out, saying goodbye to her mom, dad, with like a little kiss on the cheek from each
How
of them,
sweet.
and she kind of just walks to school today.
Alright. 'Tis a holiday. Your mother does let you know that by the time you're back, there'll be a whole bunch of nice stuff cooked up.
Kelly, Ashley kind of turns, is like, if possible, if some of the other our kids' parents let them, can I bring a friend over or two?
Well, I suppose. Sure.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, with that, she kind of just walks to school.
Alright. Who would
Oh,
like to
keeping
begin?
an eye out for the weasel fox.
They are, even on a holiday, not taking a day off. The bastards. They've got a car or two outside the school, keeping an eye on things.
So yeah, she heads to school.
Who would like to go next?
I guess I will.
Alright. You're outside the house.
Oh yeah, morning.
This is the last night that you have to sleep outside.
hmm Probably just get up and make sure there's nothing on me from sleeping outside.
Well, you probably would still have a tent, but still
Yeah,
best.
but it's still outside, so things
It's still
tend to be.
outside. It's still good to check. You seem fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
there's like a slug or two, but they're outside the tent at further inspection.
Hmm.
You know, because it being on the outside of the tent kind of does cast a bit of a shadow and such.
Mhm.
There's a slug or two. That's about it.
Yeah. Probably just get dressed, get my shoes on, and get out of the tent and head in for breakfast at that point.
All right. You are still being given a proper breakfast.
Yeah, so probably, I think I said, food. Word. Rain. Ah!
It's food.
Yes, food.
It's
I
food.
eat the food via mouth.
Good job. Good job.
I have completed the food of eating.
Commit
Mhm.
nom.
Commit drink food.
Oh my god.
That too.
This night, I drank my breakfast and ate my water. It's great.
Oh my god.
Probably just say my good mornings and then start my trek out to school.
All right. You get your bike and you go ahead and swoosh down the hill.
Swooshity swoosh.
You do not run into either of your guardians, people.
Yes.
Swoosh. Swoosh. All right. Riley, Trevor, your mornings. Whichever one of you wants to go first.
I vote
Uh,
Trevor.
Trevor?
Okay. I mean, just normal fucking morning, I guess. Fucking bit later than normal, so mom's already out of the house. Just grabs whatever's left over for breakfast and starts heading towards the bus because might barely miss it. Who knows?
Yep. Alright, so you managed to get yourself on the bus.
Yeah.
Then the bus slowly just heads up towards the other end of town so it can pick up the last few kids and then head back. Riley, your morning.
Yes. I return from getting breakfast and I start running around the basement, grabbing books that I would think I would need, making bad judgment calls, and then tossing other books, and then putting other books into this backpack that was given to me by CPS. It's not a fancy backpack. It's a
backpack.
it is a backpack. I could go more with it, but honestly, it's a backpack. I sling on the backpack, I adjust my bandana, my glasses, making sure everything looks good. Take a deep breath, put on the best smile that I can, and walk outside and realize I missed the bus.
It is about a block down, heading away.
I started thinking in my head, and I remember the walk from school to my house from when I met the cool people that I met, and remembered if I can just cut down the middle of the street, past the stores, and then get to school, I won't be late as much. But I'm still trying to figure out the concept of time, so most likely gonna like run past Trevor's house and then go down the stores and like book it down the fucking street towards the school. So
Alright.
if we're just booking it this way,
Just booking it.
we book in it and then we make it. Hello, it is I have arrived. And he'd just be sitting there fucking panting. And it's not that he's not used to running at high speeds, but doing so for a long period of time is an issue.
Assumedly, Yup. So you managed to get here a little bit after the buses have finished offloading students. So Trevor's already here, Kelly's already here, Allison's already here. They've perhaps been having a little conversation, and they probably noticed you just running full tilt.
Probably just look around and say, "Is that Riley?"
Did he just run all the way here? Is he nuts? What's wrong with him?
You good, Riley?
He's good. Is good. Just need breather.
Breather. Oh, a breather, right?
Respawn.
Yes.
I just noticed
Hmm.
scrolling out.
What?
Too.
Double.
Oh, hey. I didn't notice that. Whoops, I forgot
Wait a
that
minute.
was there.
Time
Hang on a
paradox.
Hang on a second. Nope, that doesn't exist.
Time paradox.
Hang on a
Time.
second. That's not real.
It's me, myself, and Riley.
Yikes.
Aliens.
That's not real. Yes, you're all here. Congratulations.
Probably would be very confused and nervous now that he's gotten to the school system. His confidence that he had being like, I'm doing this, has now gone to, I'm
What
going
the
to
fuck
die.
am I doing?
Yeah, what am I doing? What is happening?
Is Riley good?
Rather just be sweating and just like, his hands in his sweatshirt pockets, fiddling with his fingers as per usual when he's nervous, and he looks up and he's like, I'm good.
Okay. You look like you just ran a marathon.
Whatever that is, If it includes running,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Missed bus. Missed bus.
I
Missed bus
mean,
a lot.
it's not that bad on missing the bus with how small this place is.
Just take it easy with there, Rambo.
We'll try not to miss bus next time.
Do you
Probably a
need
good idea.
clock or something to help keep track of time?
No. Is fine.
Leave a
Just I go
probably.
by sun most of time, so
You need a
usually-
watch.
I should be fine. Just again, he'd sit there and the fiddling with his fingers would decrease over time. Generally,
Come on. Let's start heading into class.
nod and then pull out his sheet for school, trying to like read it and be like,
Have you gotten anything to eat yet, Riley?
Yes. Ate food outside, nature stuff.
Mm.
Is nu-
Nutritious.
yes,
Mm.
all natural. You just like sit there and beam.
Okay. Let's just start going in.
Classes do we have today again? Like out of character?
You have science, literature, and art.
Science, bitch.
I assume in that order.
Yes, in that order.
To science. Kool-Aid Man through the wall. Yeet.
Fuck.
No.
You just watch him fucking Kool-Aid through the wall and be like, he calls me the alien.
No, tries to Kool-Aid
Just
through the
up
wall.
the
just
stairs,
smack.
across the fucking handicap ramp, through the fucking nice little bit of greenery that's been set up here, through a wall, through another wall, and right into a chair.
You could have you didn't even have to hit the second wall. You could have just hit the door frame, and the door probably would have been open.
Yeah, could just.
Yeah, there, like that.
Can we just say you
Kool-Aid
just
Man
went
through the wall.
around?
Yeah, no, he did go around. We're all just goofing.
Allison is secretly Kool-Aid Man.
Riley would just follow Kelly and Trevor and probably Allison had they not yeeted through the wall through class because he has no idea what the inside of the school looked like.
Come on.
Like going on the... Oh, I shouldn't finish that song. Oh no.
Fuck.
Trevor, come on.
I see.
A fellow Kool-Aid Man.
Is this natural? Is this commonplace for
Yeah.
for middle school?
Also, didn't our orders get mixed up slightly
What do you mean?
with sitting wise? Because I'm guessing the open area up here is where the desk is.
Yeah, the slightly more open area.
Yeah.
At the.
Fuck
Yeah,
the rolls.
so it's
This is the
Allison,
front.
Trevor, one row back.
So confused. One row back.
This is the front of the class.
Yeah.
So I should be facing this way, yes?
Stop that.
Face the teacher.
You know what you did. Stop that.
Go on, let's take a seat.
Wait, what seats are taken? I'm trying to big brain here, or is it just like open seats? Anybody can take them.
I believe
It's
respawn state.
it's kind of just open seats, but people usually sit in the same ones.
Hello.
You told us it was like scheduled like seating in the sense of once we're sitting there, we're stuck.
I was going to say.
All
I
right.
distinctly remember a seating chart.
All right, one second. Let me go check the seating chart.
It's got to be a teacher.
I'm sorry. It's almost like I don't. All right. So. I'll sit there. There.
What are you guys doing?
We're facing the teacher.
Oh wait, we're facing teacher. Hang on. There we go.
Oh my god, guys.
You dinguses quit. All right. So
Oh my god.
I am following school protocol. I am listening to the teacher. I am making sure I give them my fullest attention in class. All right.
Alright, so for convenience purposes, the desks that are taken by other students that you guys know
Mhm.
are this one is technically Ted's.
Mhm.
This one is Charlie Walsh's.
Mhm.
This
Charlie's
one is
the-
Oliver's.
Oh shit.
They're in Audie's chair.
Is that the know-it-all kid?
Yeah, that's the little
That-
kid.
That's
All
the
right,
kid.
he can
That's the
fight
kid in
me
the
for his
library.
desk.
You don't want that.
Fine. All right. Fine. I'll scoot a desk back. Fine. Whatever.
That is James.
God.
This is
Let's-
William, and then here's the O'Malley brothers on here, over here.
You can't just fight the nerd for the seat.
I mean, you can.
Like,
The issue is you won't enjoy it at all.
What? Is he just gonna narc at me the entire time?
Yes.
Probably.
Oh god.
He's an ass.
Oliver is
brain.
very much a stickler just to get his way.
I can't just like dumpster.
I'm
like,
sure he gets
over the
annoyed
head
by the
and
fact
then
that
come
Kelly.
out of the class.
I'm sure he gets annoyed by the fact that Kelly can't get his name correct and call him Audie.
Good.
Yeah, no, he probably doesn't appreciate that much.
Good. I'll use it against him in war. Anyway,
So
I
it's
found
time
my
for
spot.
science. Mr. Smith is at the front. He's happy to see that everyone has taken their seats. We'd go through the new student introduction thing, but Riley has been here once or twice before, at least. Probably.
Hopefully.
I mean, in a 2-week gap, he's probably actually started school at some point in there. Anyways, it's like, all right, as everyone knows, it's Thanksgiving, so class is only going to be half as long today. So I figured I just talk about something that I personally found intriguing, and perhaps you all can learn a bit about it. Of course, if there are any questions, feel free to raise your hands. After this class, you'll be going straight to literature. After literature, you'll be going straight to art. And after art, you'll be going to lunch, recess, and then you're just free for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Now then. Let's talk about some plants. As you all are well aware, I'm a big fan of the natural world. I did that lesson on fungus back in October.
Mhm.
Today's lesson, however, will be a bit more along the lines of fertilizer. You see, the ground composition plays a huge part in the growth and success of a plant over its life cycle. Some plants require very specific fertilizers, very specific requirements in the soil they live in, or they will die. Some plants can absorb certain nutrients, but not other ones. In some cases, it's very advantageous for farmers to actually change what crop they're growing in a specific field, as the nutrients left behind by one plant after it's done will help feed the next the next crop that they plant, and so on and so forth. In this regard, some fertilizers are exceptionally good, but only with a specific and select few plants that can actually use the nutrients in that fertilizer, whereas other plants will get little to nothing. Questions?
So, I would raise my hand actually.
Yeah. Yes, Allison.
So, what would happen if two different fertilizers were mixed into one?
Well, that section of soil that you use the fertilizer on would benefit from both nutrients, and both types of plants that could use those nutrients could both thrive in that location, potentially. There is, of course, a bit more nuance to some of it, such as pH scalings, potentially. But if that was not too offset by the combination, then yes, both plants could thrive in that spot.
Okay.
Anyone else? Very well then. I suppose it's about time for your next class then, because obviously we're going to say that that lesson lasted a bit longer than me giving a brief
Yeah.
thing. Dilation of time and such.
Yeah.
So, next would be literature.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh, Riley would be excited.
Well, time to sleep.
In case you're wondering, this class faces that way.
It's down here, Riley.
It's where?
Right here.
Oh, here.
So it's kind of
Oh,
a mere reflection then. So
Yeah.
we would just be kind of over here then.
I also feel like mentioning, because it's, kind of the reason why it is like this, is these are the sorts of rooms where this central wall is kind of like it's a fold out wall,
Oh, it's one of those
why not
accordion
so
walls.
full-out walls? Also,
Yeah,
Riley, that's Audie's seat. You're in Audie's seat again.
I thought I see.
Do it. I swan to John. I'll do it.
Do it to him. Fuck him. He's an asshole.
That's
That's
Ted's.
That's Ted's seat. He's not here, but that is still his seat.
I was about to say, do you have to worry about fighting Ted, really?
Ted's
I'm
not
gonna.
here.
I'm just gonna say. I don't think I'm
Ted
gonna
stopped
be.
coming to school a while ago.
Exactly.
Damn. Kids
He's
missing
just-
out on good class.
He's been mailed tests and he mails them back, and they're always perfect. So it kind of figures itself out. Well,
Hella.
technically, you guys wouldn't know that, but it's not a super important detail. But yeah, this is one of those, like, this is one big room, but they have like a sliding wall that kind of just sliding, unfolding wall that kind of cuts it in half, so it can be 2 classrooms.
So it's probably the
Anyways.
same for like history and math then.
It is.
Mm.
So if they need it, it could be one big room, but it isn't by default
Hmm.
because they leave it closed usually. So, Mr. Mason, literature teacher. All right. Now, obviously, I'm not allowed to teach anything serious on a holiday, but I would like to discuss something of interest from the book we're reading. Now, as you all know, we are currently reading a science fiction novel, as I'm allowed to assign whatever book I so choose, and I'm particularly fond of this one. So long as you're up to date on the reading, you will know about the Hive Gang, being a group of cybernetically enhanced individuals that use cybernetics to monitor each other using, chips implanted in their brains. But for any of you who think that that is particularly interesting, I have some good news for you. It's possible that we may be able to recreate something like that someday. You see, in the animal kingdom, or the insect kingdom, I suppose I should say, there are various colony-based insects, such as bees, wasps, and ants. These creatures, despite insects being more simple beings, are able to communicate with each other, to exchange information, and to thrive as a group. Perhaps someday, mankind could even recreate this in some way, allowing us to communicate and pass ideas freely, without even the need to speak. We could immediately know where and what anyone is up to, if we so chose. But who's to say? The future could hold anything. Anyways, that's about all for today's class. I believe you guys all have art next, and then lunch, and then, of course, you're free to go home or stay for recess as you choose.
So class ended.
If anyone has questions, they're free to ask them, but
Um, So wait, is it end of class or is it not?
Does anyone have questions for Mr. Mason?
Nah.
Not right now, no.
All right, then yeah, class is
What?
over. Trevor's just sleeping in class. Horrible.
I'm
Horrible
gonna
student.
go over to Trevor. I'm
Gosh.
gonna bop him on the head. After drawing a mustache on him.
Get him with the Sharpie. Get him.
I used the shirt to draw a mustache on him and then woke him up.
Kelly's a little bit more excited because it's art, so she can get away with drawing a lot more drawing and such.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor, we're going to class. Let's go.
Let's just follow. Just follow the crowd.
You
Right.
didn't put seats in here.
That's because there aren't seats. It's mostly just easels.
It's a floor. You sit on the floor. Enjoy life.
Easels and benches and other such things.
So
Like, admittedly, these classrooms are orderly and such because, you just sit there and listen. Art and music, however, it's more dynamic. They move the seats around wherever they need them at a given time.
yeah,
Like, music might have the seats set up in, like, an orchestra situation, or might have, individual groups split up for smaller things. And it's kind of the same with art. It's just, wherever you feel like working
so
at a
what
given
are the
time.
seats like this time around?
At the moment, it is Mr. Henderson standing in the center, and then just kind of like a ring of easels with little stools around him.
Mm.
So you guys can sit wherever, because I mean, there's no way anyone knows which chair is theirs. You
Okay.
guys can sit wherever you want in the room, and it's fine. But Mr. Henderson is in the center. He's like, ah, yes, welcome everyone, welcome, welcome.
Kelly kind of just finds a spot, sits down, takes out her little journal.
Now then, I'm sure you all are very proud of the paintings that you've made up to this point. Some of you have spent the entire year working on yours, others have had to restart a few times, but have gotten better with each attempt. But today I'd like to put a spin on your artwork. I'd like to challenge you to do something that you might not have considered. As today is Thanksgiving, and of course, we have much to give thanks for, and so on and so forth. Originally, what Thanksgiving was the natives teaching us how to hunt and survive in this land. We'll not go into details and all that about it beyond that. So what I would like each of you to do is looking at what you have made so far, whether it's half made, barely started, or nearly complete, I'd like you to place one little detail somewhere on it that implies that there is a hunter, someone hiding in, well, not necessarily clear sight, but hidden at first glance, waiting to strike. You, of course, are not required to by any means, but as the art teacher, it is my job to challenge you so that you can continue to grow as artists by trying new things and so on and so forth. He seems very pleased with himself as he stands in the middle of the classroom, kind of turning and smiling at everyone.
Kelly just is just happy because this is kind of like her favorite class out of the whole
Yes.
thing.
So you all are given about, a half hour or so to continue work on whatever it is you're working on, and if you accept his challenge, to try and hide something in it that might be a hunter or ambush predator of some sort or whatnot.
Riley would look at the paints and then look at the brushes, look back at the paints, pop like a couple of them open, and like dip his fingers into it and just start painting with his hands.
Um,
Unless it's from your fellow students, no one seems upset or surprised or anything.
I'm being artistic. He'd probably just He'd be. It wouldn't look anything like identifying in any way at the moment. Give time.
Yeah, no,
Probably.
Mr. Henderson seems amused, if nothing else, and he's not doing anything to stop you or correct you or anything. He's just like, yes, go on. Let's see what you make.
Kelly does a little bit of work on her painting before kind of trying just starting to do her own doodles here and there. She just starts randomly drawing.
Alright.
With nothing much in mind and such. And she just whatever comes. Again, she's not really focused on anything. She's just kind of randomly doodling.
Come on, Allison, draw us something.
Hey, Alice and Trevor, what are you two working on?
I was actually thinking at something because probably would have accepted the challenge.
Do you want me to give you another second to continue the idea, and we'll see what Trevor's doing?
I have a good idea of what's in my head.
All right.
Probably due to her nature and as being a hunter of sorts, I guess, because she's still young and learning.
Mm-hmm.
But because of what she knows, she probably would have roughly drawn a deer or buck, whatever you want to call it, standing over water. The specific detail they added to indicate a hunter would have been a reflection from the deer's eye, a bit of a glint, indicating that of a scope from reflection of the sun on it.
Pretty good.
Oh, can I
It's
see
up.
what Kelly did with her picture with the huntsman thing?
Sure.
She would have continued drawing at first, but she would have done kind of a silhouette type of deal in the background, where if you just quick glanced it, you wouldn't notice too much, but if you looked at it closely enough, you would notice a little detail like a silhouette of a person within the shadows.
Pretty good. Mr. Anderson, I just want you to know that anytime I'm saying that, pretty good, because I said that to pretty much everyone so far, I'm also just imagining Mr. Anderson walking by and smiling at your work and giving you all just like little pats on the back and such. He's of course doing this for other students as well. Trevor, what are you making?
I would say he's just sitting there like tapping the corner of the easel, just staring at like the half drawn thing he has on the like the half done thing. Like, what else can I do with this?
Mr. Anderson will come up and be like, bit of artist block.
Yeah, I'm more of a simple thing. I'm more for simple stuff. So it's like, technically, I got everything.
Well, let's see. Go ahead. Describe to me what you see and what you've made.
It's just like it's like it's pretty much like a stage. Like it's like
Timing. Hope everyone's having fun so far.
Riley's still going at it on the fucking easel. He's like, his fingers are just like going ham on the board, and you kind of see what looks like to be like the outline of a character, but the head is square, and then like off, well, in artist representative, like in a background, what looks like to be an outline of a bush is this other stick figure-esque outline with orange hair. With orange hair in the background. He's still like trying to get the details right with the paints. He's got like a smidge of orange on his forehead, another like smidgen of black on his cheek. But like he is just having the time of his life.
I mean, hey, as long as he's enjoying himself, that's part of art.
Oh, Oblivion, you back?
Yeah, it was literally like as it gets around to me, freaking niece bolts into my room for a second. It's like, oh hi.
So yes, you're saying there's a stage, I believe?
Yes. It's pretty much like like right after a concert, so like it's still like trashed and shit, and the equipment is actually like still on stage and stuff, and that's pretty much all he has so far. And it's just like, ah, he's just staring there like at it like, hmm.
Well, I suppose it's a fairly good piece altogether. Are you at all interested in completing the challenge, or would you like my advice simply on how you might improve this piece a bit further?
Debating on both, honestly.
Well, to be fair, even I'm not certain where to hide a creature in this, perhaps barely peeking out from behind the curtains, from backstage. Perhaps hanging from the scaffolding above the stage. But as far as simply improving it, perhaps the band members, tired and disheveled, but still happy, still at their instruments. After a good night, I suppose.
Hmm. That gives me something.
Perhaps you could even make it a more realistic piece. Find some people in your real life put to place upon the instruments. Who do you know that's good with them?
Without even saying anything, he just grabs one of the paintbrushes and pretty much starts next to the guitar, just starts like painting what looks like a woman.
On, who's this?
It's like, that's my sister.
Very good. Well, I think I've done my job quite well. Good luck filling out the rest of the band.
Yeah.
Oh, and perhaps when you get a chance, you can speak to Mr. Osborne, the music teacher. He would probably quite enjoy reliving the glory days if you can get a band together.
That'd be something.
Kelly's kind of continuing to just kind of doodle. She would glance over to like the other kids every so often to see what they're up to, but she's doing her own thing. Hello?
Yeah, I'm lost in thought for a second, checking my notes.
Riley's somewhat finished to a certain extent. He's still looking at it.
Do we want to? Yeah, let's go ahead and Henderson swings back by Riley since he is new and perhaps needs a little extra attention. What has Riley made so far?
Riley has constructed two figures, one in the front and center, who looks like who's looking to be very angry to a certain extent, back towards another character in the background, hiding behind the bush. The foreground character is this skinny but yet not too skinny, so just regular build character in black pants and like a black vest but a white shirt, and the only thing that doesn't make him look human is that he's got this black head-ish head with black hair, and it looks like this character is very upset at this person in the background who is hiding behind this cartoony like bush and has an orange streak in their hair and currently is doing some sort of snickering in the background
Oh no!
behind the
Oh.
bush.
Riley draws from experience. He draws Blockhead about to beat the shit out of Allison.
Hunter has become the hunted.
quite
Makes
good,
sense.
in its own way, I suppose. He just gently gives Riley a pat on the shoulder and steps away.
Riley would just be happy. There's still paint dripping from like his face and his hands, but like he'd be happy.
Oh my
Mm.
god. What's with the
Checking my notes, because to be honest, I've given a lot of hints to a lot of different things already, and I'm wondering if I can fit one more in.
Oh no.
Just give me a second. If you guys want to impose a time of some kind, that's fair. I'm just, I, mm, I'm honestly, I'm questioning if I want to just come up with something on the fly and just flesh it out as we go.
Oh, I'm concerned already.
This is fine.
Well, you guys are like painting and shit. Riley's just every now and then like talking to some of the other students. I've been talking to Oogie's chat the entire time.
Yeah, you have.
All right. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do.
Oh no. Respawn, what are you doing?
I'm putting something in my notes real quick just so I don't forget what I'm doing right now. And then I will tell you all what it is. Or what you'll know, you know.
Oh, I'm concerned.
I gotta
Oh,
make the page
boy.
for it and then give a hint of some kind of what to expect.
Oh, I'm concerned. Oh, I'm nervous.
Alright. So
So what?
So Mr. Henderson goes over back to Keller because admittedly he has a bit of a favoritism, but we know most people wouldn't be able to tell probably. Because he noticed that she seems to have finished her work on her main art, her painting for the time being, and is doodling, and he wishes to go see what it is she is doodling.
Mm-hmm. I'm just doing my own thing, just drawing some fun stuff here and there. Nothing too big.
He leans over and just kind of goes, what's this one? He points the one you have currently in hand.
Oh. Kelly just takes a double take slightly. Doesn't quite recall drawing that one. Actually, I don't know.
Oh boy.
Well, if you aren't sure what it is, perhaps it would simply just be best to describe it.
I mean, it's...
Describe the shapes and what you can recognize in it for what it is, and it'll help your brain with figuring it out. Sometimes saying it out loud does just help you process things.
It looks kind of like just like a whitish tree.
Pretty good, pretty good. Let's just start. It's a white tree. What
Yeah,
else?
though it does stand out a little bit because of the red vines running across it.
Indeed.
All the other plants seem to avoid it for some reason, and there's a single purple fruit hanging from one of its branches.
Well, it is up to the artist to decide the meanings of their works and what it truly is, but if I had to guess, perhaps it's simply a piece about being different. That is white rather than brown, covered in vines that are red rather than green, with a fruit that is purple, whereas the majority of fruits can be a number of colors, but purple isn't commonly among them.
Callie kind of looks a little bit complex in the sense of things due to. Normally, she knows what she's drawing. She recalls them. The only time she doesn't. Callie kind of just. Henderson, can I go to the restroom, please?
Oh, sure, of course.
Kelly kind of gets up, places her small journal in her bag, and just kind of walks out, a little bit unnerved. Where's the
He'll continue to
restrooms?
check on. The restrooms are right up here. This would be the females' restrooms.
Okay.
As you'll notice, it has more stalls, whereas the men's restroom has fewer stalls to have room for urinals and such, as is the way of things. I was very considerate.
Hella.
But yeah, Kelly goes to the restroom. Passing like Riley, Trevor, and Allison on the way, seeing how they're closer to the door, but she's kind of has a slightly unnerved look to her in some regard.
Mm.
My friend's senses are tingling.
Mm-hmm.
I would look and see Kelly has walked out of the room, trying to his best to like wipe off remnants of the paint from his latest masterpiece off of his face. He'd look, and then he'd look to Alice and be like trying to like point towards the door, being like, "Should we do something?
Do
Do
something like
something here?"
that. I mean, to be fair, neither Trevor nor Riley can go to her right now without probably getting in trouble.
This is true.
Fun.
So if anyone's gonna go check on her, it's up to Allison.
Pulls that knife out. I'm gonna go figure out throw.
No.
Uh-oh. What? Uh-oh.
No, it's not
He
really.
just walks in with a fucking knife. So I've been hearing you have emotional problems.
He starts peeling an onion. So what's wrong?
Oh my god.
Calm down.
peeling an
Oh my god.
Allison's a great motivational speaker.
Yes, this holding knife to the throat of Riley.
Oh my god.
Let's see if you bleed red.
Oh my gosh.
No.
That's just murder.
I'd probably raise my hand and say, maybe excuse for a moment.
Oh, of course. Go right ahead, Allison. Class is nearly over anyways.
I'd nod, so I'd put away the things and probably grab a napkin or towel that's nearby and just wipe off my hands in case anything was on them.
Very
And
smart.
head over to the restrooms to go try and figure out what's going on.
You would kind of see Kelly just kind of like splashing water onto her face and just kind of slightly muttering to herself. And some.
Probably just calmly walk over and say, something up?
Hi!
Top the morning to you.
Didn't think you would follow.
Yay, you look like something was up.
Yeah, had a moment that I didn't think it would happen in school.
What happened?
Another moment where I drew up something really fucking strange. Sorry, my language. Something really strange, but I don't have recollection of drawing it. This makes it.
I mean,
This.
sometimes the mind wanders. I get lost when I'm doing certain things
This is the
myself.
6th image I've drawn on. First time being here at school, where I've drawn some images that I don't remember even drawing.
Hmm.
And kind of odd that one of them is a major tornado.
Sure.
Yeah.
Odd. How much has this happened before?
About. I have a series of images at home. That I've apparently drawn. 5 of them in total.
Would it be possible for me to see them at some point?
Yeah.
Alright.
Though they're kind of on the weird end. Some of them don't even make sense.
I don't know. Your home is still the weirdest thing I've seen yet in this town. Not the strangest, just the weirdest.
Please.
No offense.
I think Mr. Henderson beats the weirdest place.
What do you mean, Mr. Henderson?
He's different
Seems
when
like
he's...
he seems like a perfectly reasonable, upstanding, normal person.
Nothing out of the ordinary about him at all. She's at school.
What's wrong with Mr. Henderson? He
Okay.
seems pretty fine.
He's fine when he's outside his house.
What do you mean?
He's 100% different when he's inside his house.
He's gonna just see like that, just kind of like puzzled face with like the corked eyebrow.
Let's see. He has stuff off the wazoo. If you ask anything about the stuff in his house, he'll go on a probably 6 or more hour ramble with many different stories connected to this item, in the sense of being stuck there. Oh, also, if you leave him in the middle of his story, he'll still keep track of where he's left off, and so when you come back to his place, he'll continue from he left that from the last story.
I mean, that sounds pretty normal, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with stories.
A 6-hour one.
It's a really good story.
Yeah.
At this point, it's obvious that I'm just trying to think of an excuse to think he's normal.
He had a peacock in his house. He has...
He's gonna start rapidly blinking in disbelief.
He has little fights with the mirror in some fun... They're not really fights, they're more like... Mirror will try something... Well, not really arguments, they're just doing it more for fun. The mirror will do something at Henderson, and in revolt, Henderson will do something back.
He's just gonna have the confused and very concerned stare.
Look, do you want to tag along when I go visit Henderson next time?
I'm kind of 50-50 on that answer, to be honest.
He's really nice, and he's really friendly. He's just a bit crazy.
That's why it's 50-50.
He's... I mean, he's the reason why I didn't get in trouble from escaping school the one day, because my parents know him. And
Yeah, I got in trouble for that. I had to sleep outside for like a week or two.
What?
That's fine.
Oh my god.
It's not the first time I've done something good. He's just out of character. Why the fuck do I hear Fortunate Son blasting in the living room? Hold on, is that like Vietnam shit in the living room?
Oh fuck!
One moment. There's some Vietnam in the living room.
Oh my god. You back?
So how are the two fellas in the art class doing?
I am cleaning up, looking at Masterpiece. I've signed my name by simply just like putting the palm of my hand on the corner of the fucking painting canvas, looking proudly upon it, and I'm now washing my hands of the black and the orange that have currently stained my face and my hands. And then once I'm done cleaning, I pick it up gently, making sure that the paint still has time to dry. I walk over and I show Trevor, and I'm like, made this.
Oh my god.
Well,
Trevor?
Trevor, he's showing you his art.
Nice.
Trevor, or a fucking Riley would just beam and be happy and giggle before like going back and setting it back on the easel so it can continue to dry.
Mr. Henderson will come and be like, "Oh, it's a lovely bit. Excellent use of color, if nothing else."
It's my friend's favorite colors.
Is that your signature there in the bottom right?
Yeah, I'm still learning how to write.
A handprint will do most of the time, but if I may.
You may.
All right. He grabs a very fine point brush, gets a little bit of black paint on the end of it, and in a very fancy cursive, puts Riley's name in the palm of the handprint on the
Riley
art.
would just like, his mind would be blown. Because he's
Yes.
never considered writing with paint. He's always considered like, oh, pencil is just how you do it.
Just Riley, and then right under it, M.
He'd just sit there and then clap and be happy.
There you are.
Ooh, over his art. Thank you.
You're welcome. Once it's done drying, we can either hang it up here, or if you want, you can take it home.
He'd look down, knowing his situation at home, and then look up and it's like, I prefer it here.
Well then, once it's dry, I'll go ahead and get a nice bit of frame for it. And I'll find a nice empty space on the walls here to hang it. That way, anytime you come by the art class, you can come see it.
Thank you.
If you ever change your mind, you're welcome to come collect it too.
Okay. He'd walk over and then sit next to Trevor watching him make his projects.
Yes, as he paints his sister by the bass guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Agent back?
I'm here. I've been here
Okay.
for a while, but they've been going, so I'm like, all right, let them do their thing.
I figured we'd check on those two while we were waiting for you to get back. So now that you are back,
Yeah.
continue your seat.
But, Kelly walks back a little bit and leans on the wall. But, yeah, anyway, yeah, I have moments where things happen that I don't recall doing it, or even just kind of, it just blank altogether.
Is this like the skull thing?
Not
I feel like
It's not really like the skull thing, because with the skull thing, I remember that. I straight up remember those moments. These are just total don't even remember. Don't even recall.
Hmm.
And some of these images are weird. I've drawn. Like I said, one of them's a tornado, which, gee. What did we kind of recently find out a few weeks ago?
Tornadoes are torts.
Yeah. Mm, and the other four, let's see if I can recall them on the top of my head. One's a smiling guy with a knife in his chest. One's a demon-looking figure with a demon figure with soft hands. One looks like a field of fur, and the last one is a open door with a ball of eyes, teeth, and hands sticking out from behind it. And then there's the one I just drew in the art class, which apparently is one of the most detailed variations so far of my zoning out shenanigans, which is a white tree with red vines running across it. It's away from all the other plants and it has a single purple fruit dangling, hanging off one of its branches.
It's a bit odd.
You're telling me.
Maybe they're connected to some things. Well, that part's obvious, but things we don't understand yet.
Yeah.
We
Kelly
probably should be getting back to class soon.
Yeah, my bag's still in there. Kelly is kind of rubbing the palm of one of her hands, like gripping her hands and just rubbing the palm of it with just like gripping her left hand and just rubbing the palm of it with her right thumb.
Just the slight tilt of the head before just kind of walking or just grabbing you by the wrist, like, come on. We're gonna go find Blockhead and Tiny Rambo.
A quick question about you rubbing your hands. Are you wearing the gloves?
Yeah.
Don't do anything, but because your hands were brought up, I figured I would check.
Actually, correction. Correction. No, she's not.
Oh yeah, you were like wrong and such, so.
Yeah.
Dragging Kelly back to class so we can go find Blockhead and Rambo.
Well, if you do put them on, let me know.
It's not like they're gonna go anywhere.
The art room is on fire because Riley didn't know how the fire extinguisher right now.
Somehow set the fire extinguisher on fire.
I don't remember where you're in the room, but I'm just gonna drag you back over to your stuff.
Oh, yeah,
It's over here.
I'm next to Trevor because I'm watching him do stuff.
So
It's
drag
over
Kelly
here.
back over here. Ta-da! Back in the room.
Mr. Anderson checks the clock on the wall and then his watch, like, oh shoot. Seems we're off by a few minutes. You're all free to go to lunch.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Henderson.
Of course, all of you take care. Enjoy the holiday.
Thanks, Mr. Anderson. You have a good day as well, sir.
Of course, of course.
Bye
Kelly
bye.
grabs-
So long.
Kelly grabs her bag.
And after that, go to drag you back to the others.
Oh my god!
This is just a continuous thing because Kelly's being this upsetty quiet, so they're being dragged about now.
Riley would look at Allison.
Allison, let me go!
Riley would look at Allison and be like,
Allison.
why is Orange Lady dragging Color Lady?
Because she's being quiet and upsetty.
I'm
So
not
we're going-
upsetty.
Then have some spaghetti. I don't have any
Spaghetti because there's no spaghetti because today in the cafeteria they are serving mashed potatoes with gravy and slices of turkey.
Hmm.
Being upsetting without some spaghetti, have some turkey.
Oh my god, you guys.
Riley would just sit there and wait for the people who know what they're doing to lead because he has no idea where everything is in the school.
Grab Riley's wrist as well.
Yeah.
Oh my
Allison
god.
is taking the lead.
And we're
Trevor is behaving.
I'm so hungry.
Oh my.
Riley would just sit there, just trying to contemplate the what Allison is doing.
I'm assuming
Mr.
down here is the
Henderson-
cafeteria.
Yes, down there is still the cafeteria.
You drag the boys down here.
Oh, God.
After,
Oh,
after all the students have left the art room, Mr. Henderson steps out, turns the lights off, locks the door, and he also starts heading for the lunchroom.
Riley would not appreciate being dragged, but honestly doesn't care at this
How are
point.
you
knowing that
being
this week-
dragged? You're taller than
I've grabbed him
Allison.
with I've dragged him with his wrist as well.
Yeah, but Kelly
Lower
has...
center of balance.
Oh my god.
Riley does not appreciate this.
Riley is confused. It's fine.
Kelly tries wiggling out of fucking Allison's grip.
Alright, you know what? Give me some competing force rolls.
Oh my god.
I want to see this.
We haven't had any rolls yet this session. I want to see violence.
Violent. Ah,
Violence.
yes, violent.
Fight in the
Fuck,
cafeteria,
okay.
Pat.
Oh
We are
my
not
God.
escaping.
None of you escape.
I have a lunchbox. Let me sit at a table.
Riley has not
Here
brought
we
food.
go.
Walk with us anyway.
Walk.
Be social.
It's a
Let-
table. I don't
no.
know these people.
Can I just
Go
sit
to
Trevor's
the lunch
following
line.
5 feet
Trevor.
away.
Can I sit next to Trevor?
No.
Allison,
walk.
please.
We walk.
No.
Alright. You guys
Just
are at
gonna
the
go-
lunch line.
Just
Yeah,
go
just kind
through
of
the
goes
lunch
this
line.
way.
Riley would try to grab fucking what he can for one.
Kelly's gonna attempt it again just to get out of Allison's
Alright,
grip.
go ahead. You're free to have another attempt as you're going through this. Unfortunate.
Fucking Allison, just fucking roll just to see. I want to
Yeah,
see
mine-
this.
Oh my
What the
God.
hell?
Consistent threes.
Why
Man,
is
what
it
the
when we're
fuck
trying to
is
do
this?
anything fucking intelligent, you literally can't do shit. But when it comes to actually trying to do shit in terms of physical force, you're just there.
That's what they have more dice in.
Yeah.
That's great. Hey, we'll just go through the lunch line as pretty
You just go
usual.
through the line.
Yeah, we'll just drag everyone to the table.
And
Okay.
you all get to go to the table and sit down.
Yes.
God.
I'll put Riley beside Trevor.
Just fucking get yeeted over the table with my food and then just sit down next to Trevor, just trying to contemplate this shit.
Kelly takes out her
Alright.
lunchbox and just like.
And now I
opens.
let go.
Thank you.
My God.
I think we just like hold his wrist and then just start eating.
It's been a fun
Kelly.
day today.
Ricky,
It's not even
Ricky,
halfway over.
you guys are sitting down for lunch, and Ricky and Reggie walk up.
Oh, the bullies. Ah,
The
I see.
Woolies, they walk up. Also, James is sitting here.
Ah,
Okay.
hello,
Okay.
James.
James is here. He's being quiet and just happily eating alongside his friends.
Yay, all the cool people are at the table.
And
Reggie.
Ricky and Reggie are just kind of standing there looking at us now, I assume.
And like, you guys showed up late. We already finished our food, but we want more.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Pulls out a knife.
Hey!
Hey, you walk in a thin line, meathead.
Who are you calling meathead?
Riley would just sit there quietly and eat, knowing full well that if he was gonna start something, it would have to be for a really good reason.
We want your food.
Kelly just kind of tries. Her mind's been she's so thinking about what happened in the art room, and so she's kind of lost in her own head. So she's just kind of keeping quiet.
I'm just gonna lightly shake my head and just hand the plate over and say, "Just leave us alone."
Rather
You
would
just
get
hand,
food.
you just hand in these two your mashed potatoes, gravy, and turkey.
Yeah,
All right.
just saying, just leave us alone.
I'll do a quick roll that they're probably going to fail. In all honesty,
Killing them, most likely.
I'll give them 4 dice.
2 for each of them.
All right. They start kind of fighting amongst each other over it.
Oh my god.
Riley
Had
would
they
look
actually
up.
succeeded that, they'd be like, all right, now one of us has food, but the other one still wants. But
But
no, they're just
they started brawling each other next to the table.
they're now brawling each other.
Riley
Uh,
would look over to
as,
Allison and be like, "Is this normal?"
as you guys are watching that, give me let's get investigate roll, see if you guys notice something. All right, so everyone but Trevor, who probably doesn't care, busy watching the fight, notices as
Probably.
Mr. Henderson walks up, takes a seat here, reaches into his coat, his jacket, pulls out a very fancy-looking handkerchief, napkin. It's like got nice little stitching along the
Oh
sides. It's a
God.
cloth one. It's even got his initials stitched into one corner. Sets it down, unrolls it. There's a fancy set of cutlery, a spoon, a knife, and a fork.
God.
And he's got one of the school lunches in front of him.
Fancy.
He takes his fancy fork and his fancy knife, pins the slab of turkey meat down and starts slowly cutting it while he sits next to you guys.
This
Hi,
man
His mouth is like,
all
Henderson.
sorts of
very
fancy.
good.
All right. Besides the fact that this, what he's done in the past, this man is just fancy as fuck.
Hi, Mr. Henderson.
Hello, Kelly.
Decided to join us today?
Yes, I thought I'd try out the Thanksgiving that our school system is feeding you kids.
As the bullies kind of are fighting, she tries to like a sleight of hand to pull the plate back to Allison.
No, the thing is they had it like in hand,
Oh,
and
okay,
those
so
mashed potatoes have probably already ended up in someone's nose.
Okay, so Kelly
Yikes.
trying to looks at her lunch like, want some of my lunch, Allison?
Everyone hears a sudden as one of the brothers slaps the other with the turkey.
If only this was the age of video cameras, I could video this.
Yeah.
You must
I
write
just
it in scripture.
Want some of my lunch?
Let's go back to the art room and capture it in paint.
I'll be fine.
You sure?
Yeah, considering. Yeah, probably can get something at home. The family decide to do anything big for Thanksgiving. If not, I'll just get something myself.
I mean, I did ask my parents if I could bring friends over after school, um, and they said they're probably gonna have the food set up. So it's like, can I
Mr.
bring?
Henderson chuckles and puts another piece of turkey in his mouth. Did you?
Mhm.
That's quite interesting. He seems amused by something. He looks over to Rise like, "Excuse me, could I bother to trade you utensils? I feel like this food would taste better with plastic utensils."
Riley would nod. He'd be more
Alright.
focused on the bullies because you can't see it from under the table, but he's cracking his knuckles.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
so Mr. Henderson hands Riley the fancy metal utensils and in return receives the kind of basic plastic cafeteria utensils and starts eating the subpar school lunch with that. It's like, yes, that's much better.
Riley would just sit there.
And he, seemingly more pleased with it, continues to eat it.
Actually, he just stops and thinks. I thought this. Should we actually have like an actual meetup point, guys? Like an actual place to go to and meet up at?
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Probably.
But it's best, especially if situation is bad.
Yeah.
Magician grins. That's probably a lovely idea. I remember back in my day, me and the lads had a treehouse. Took us a while to make. I mean, it was entirely by our own making.
Mm.
Took most of 2, 3 summers. It was a fine place, had a tire swing or two. Though, of course, we mostly used them to joust, as it were. You know, one person would get in one swing, one would get in the other, and we'd just throw them at each other as hard as we could.
Oh my god.
There was a lot of tangles and a lot of bruises, but good times had altogether. In fact, I think that tree house is still intact wherever it was back in the day. You know, I didn't grow up in this town, obviously. Had a fairly interesting childhood, I suppose you can tell. I keep expecting one of you to stop me, and it's not happening.
Riley's just quietly trying to figure out what these words mean, joust and treehouse. He's just trying
Well,
to contemplate it.
Only half tuned in because watching the fight.
If no one stops him, he's going to keep going.
Oh no.
Riley would just keep eating with the fancy utensils because he's never done that before, so kind of involved.
Allison would say something. They'd say, Mr. Henderson,
Hmm.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you have any family here in town?
Oh, no family.
Where are you from then?
Oh, let's see. Before I lived here, I was out in... Was it Wyoming? No, Wyoming doesn't exist. I was in Montana.
Wyoming
What?
doesn't
Wait a minute. What? What do you mean Wyoming doesn't exist?
Wyoming, I guess Wyoming don't exist, boys.
It's just a joke. Wyoming does exist. He's just amusing himself.
Riley would stop and just be like, wait a minute.
What is a Wyoming? Why doesn't it exist?
Did it disappear? Did it go away?
Yes, I was living out in Montana before I moved here.
Did you have any brothers or sisters?
Oh, I did have an elder brother for a while.
What happened to him?
Oh, he passed on long ago.
Sorry.
Such is the way of things. When you get to my age, there aren't many people left from your youth.
Do you have any grandchildren? Or kids
No,
of your own?
I never settled down. I mean, to be fair, given my eccentricities, it would have been a miracle if I ever found a woman who could
Eccentricities?
handle my particulars. Well, yes. Kelly would know more about it. I wouldn't bore you with the details.
Giving the more curious and very concerned look to Kelly for a short moment.
Kelly has a I told you so look to her face.
Well, I did settle down once, but that didn't last.
What happened?
Oh, she went off after a while. We don't really keep in contact.
Hmm.
Hard to say what she's doing with her life now.
What were your parents like?
They were, well, sad to say, they weren't nearly as interesting as myself. Father was more of just a factory worker, primarily working on the furnaces, making sure the temperatures were kept up. After all, can't really work metals if they are cold, at least not as easily. My mother was a seamstress for the most part, weaving tapestries and clothing as well, putting things together.
Um,
Riley would look up and just be like, always be grateful for parents. Family make sure they make you who you are.
Very good thing to be thankful for on this of all days.
Henderson, do you happen to know any good like spots that would kind of be suitable for like like fun little hidden bases for us? Because truthfully, I think it would be kind of interesting and fun for us to actually have a place to meet up at.
Well, if the stories you told me are correct, it seems like you might already have a few places no one else knows about.
Yeah, but the problem is,
You want one that's truly your own.
That, and I don't want a situation for weasel guys following us,
Of course. Well,
because the places would kind of be really kind of screwed over in a sense of things if those guys found those spots.
well, I would of course be more than happy to offer up my own home and its backyard if you wished. There's also a storage facility I own in the
You sure?
business section of town. If you wanted to set up there, I don't really use it much. It's just full of odds and ends from my life that I couldn't fit in my house. Though sometimes I do rotate out what I have. And other than that, you could always set up a treehouse or some sort of camp out in the woods.
Hmm. What do you
Those
guys
are the
think?
options that come to mind.
Allison? Trevor? Riley? What do you guys think?
Mm,
Were you not listening?
Well, I was watching two dumbasses fight.
Places
I
of
mean, it
us
could work.
could work? As in
Junk-
what extent of, like, Mr.
Junkyard.
Henderson?
Very secure. Have fence, have dog, have secret base. Live in junk.
Well, I don't want to go over and have the junkyard as our base because, again, if folks follow us to there, then that stuff will be compromised in the sense of things.
But Scruffy and dogs and
Even
and
if
fence.
Scruffy's there, it's still kind of a risk.
Mm,
Well,
Got it.
wherever we go, we run a risk of attracting attention.
Yeah, and I prefer not having it to places that could lead to dangerous situations.
what about my place? Meet in basement.
Mm,
Mom, don't think we'll be too concerned about having people over.
what about us being loud? Because remember the first time I went along with you, we had to be quiet.
Mom, he'd kind of like fiddle with his fingers again. Mom may not be best in terms of host, but as long as not go in house itself and stay in basement, Mom should be fine with it.
Mm,
I mean, we could always as well. I'll throw a card in here, I guess. There's also out with Griff at the Firewatch Tower. As long as we're not disturbing him up top, we should be fine. Having a little small camp out below should be fine.
mm,
It's very secure. Firewatch Tower also not have lots of trucks to come up.
That's in the middle of the woods. Probably only like a small like dirt trail to get up there. So you ain't gonna see many vehicles.
Trevor, what do you think?
I mean, as long as we don't have to worry about interruptions or anything like that, I guess wherever works.
Nature is good, cause me and Orange Lady know about nature. Able to walk through forest without much issue.
Truthfully, I would like the idea of a tree house.
I mean, Griff might be able to help build one.
What
Mr.
is
Henderson,
treehouse?
a tree house is basically a building that's kind of placed in a tree, where the tree has like a building on top of it.
Ooh, is bad for tree?
Mm-mm. No.
Probably would imagine like his own house, like on top of a tree, and just seeing the tree crash.
No. It's a small. It's like a small thing that's kind of around the tree in the sense of things. It doesn't. Kind of like a the tree's a pillar of sorts, kind of like keeping it upright.
Oh. Not harm tree?
It does not harm the tree.
Okay.
Um,
I good with it.
Actually, Henderson, you think you're down with helping us slightly with a treehouse?
Well, I suppose, at least as far as materials are.
Mm,
Don't think I'm much for physical labor these days, but I can make sure you have what you need for it.
okay.
Where are you thinking you'll build it?
Um, that's a good question.
Use trees to advance.
He casually like turns around on the lunchroom bench sheet, looks out through the window, and out to the tree line out here, which is, next to the school and also behind his house. Just
All right.
casually looking over at it.
Are you suggesting something, Henderson?
No, I'm just thinking. Picturing possibilities.
Probably take time to think before making decision, especially with a lot on table. Not literally, but figure.
There's not a lot on the table. He looks at the lunchroom table. Yeah, there's not a lot on here.
Damn it, Allison.
Why?
So we have two certain ideas of location-wise. One's near Griff's, Allison's friend's house, and one's by Mr. Henderson's house. One would be up the hill more, while the other one would be down here.
As long as animal people not able to get near, should be good with me.
Trevor? Allison? Your thoughts on placement-wise?
Thinking more up the hill, maybe, because that's centralized in a sense, because there's stuff in the mountain that we deal with, and then there's stuff in the town we deal with.
Makes good point.
And plus, Weasel guys wouldn't be around too much to follow us, because if we're down here, we're more likely closer to the school and such like that.
Yep.
Riley points to Trevor, Allison, and Kelly. It's like, animal people after you, P3.
Yes, that's true.
Not after Riley.
James just casually eats his mashed potatoes as he's been watching all this, sitting next to you guys.
Would you like to join the operation of the Secret Society? No.
Oh god.
No.
Listen, at this point, Allison's going fucking crazy about shit.
Aliens.
Actually, we could do it on. Actually, no, that would be close to Ted's home.
Most likely going to need to see Ted at some point in time. If
Yeah,
remember,
I
need
did.
to tell Ted.
About what?
Remember, he kind of racked his brain trying to remember as he's still trying to get whatever the hell's happening at the end of the table out of his. Trying not to stab anyone. But like, remember to tell Ted that Ted's dad is gone.
He already knows his dad's gone.
Oh yeah. Never mind then. Wait, need to tell Ted to get the rock so that Ted is not in danger.
I did try talking to Ted before. He said the rock's on her watch at his home. Though I don't know exactly what that means.
But Ted is also being watched by animal people, and Ted is still doesn't leave home.
Yeah.
Ted is in danger. If animal people figure out what Rock do, animal people might break in.
Oh, we could place the treehouse at a between point between, the cave and,
Firewatch
and
station.
yeah, and Firewatch. Griff's place. Like at between those 2 points.
Be away from Firewatch station. Be away from trail. Have access to the cave.
It's like not too far away from those 2 things.
It makes sense. Makes good sense.
What do you guys think?
Seems good.
Seems good with me.
Allison?
Do I get to jump out the window?
Riley thinks we need to put baby gate around window.
And it says Rambo.
Rambo knows to make sure to calm down when hunting squirrels. Rambo does not jump down from tree like giant flying squirrel human.
Oh my god.
Listen, sometimes to get to the ground, you gotta jump, and sometimes that's through a window on the 13th floor of a building.
No!
Why
It
is
just says,
that
I
being-
don't know if the treehouse is going to be that tall.
Riley
Well,
just
we won't know till we try.
Riley looks over to Trevor and he's like, Riley needs suicide hotline number just in case.
Oh no!
Just in case orange hair girl decides to end it all by jumping out of treehouse.
No.
No! Kuma, no!
Well,
Preparing
if
for
we're gonna
the
be
unexpected.
If we're gonna be making a treehouse, we're gonna need some like a blueprint plan and stuff like that.
Riley would just shudder at the sound of blueprint being Riley, it's blueprint.
Oh my god.
Riley, not like blueprint after washing machine.
For the washing machine, though. Fuck.
He means the car wash.
Okay. It's like, huh?
Okay, so who here is good with interior, I guess, design?
Riley would reminisce on his basement. Not me.
Kelly just looks over at Mr. Henderson.
I interior designed my own home. This one's on you.
James,
I'm just
what is your
supplying
thoughts?
materials.
James, your thoughts?
What the? We are involving James in this?
Welcome to
Yeah.
the secret society!
I want to bring James. I like James.
James is cool.
I mean, I can help how I can.
Okay, I guess we just drafted James into this crap. Okay.
James has joined your party.
No, my god.
James has been drafted to the army.
I was about to say, he got drafted
James
into the
isn't
party.
sure, but he knows you got. James isn't sure, but he knows you guys are his friends, so he's willing to go along with it.
Damn, this is just how I make people do things. They know I'm their friend. That's great. Anyway, James, what do you know about interior design as such?
Simplicity is best because it's cheap.
This is fair.
I agree with the statement.
All right, Trevor, you're in charge of interior design with James.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
James, help him keep it somewhat simple.
Okay.
Huh?
Hey.
It'll be tame, to say the very least. I won't
What's
go
my name
overboard.
called?
What?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I thought for a moment. Okay.
And I'll go out at some point with Kelly and we'll figure out a decent looking tree to get it built on while you two work on that. And I guess in between working on this little project, we will look into some other little things going on.
Yeah.
Sound like a plan?
Good with me.
Plan has
Yeah.
been made. Very nice.
And we'll go ahead and bring Riley with us as well, because I'm pretty sure he'll get bored with the interior decoration.
Mm,
Mr. Henderson checks his watch like, oh, it's nearly time. Okay, I'll see you all later.
Had to
Have a
go
good
somewhere.
night, Mr.
Riley would like
Yes.
hold up the metal utensils and be like, "You want back?"
You can keep them, my boy.
Riley has been given a knife.
Oh no.
Oh no! What's that in your hands, Riley? A knife! No!
Henderson adjusts his outfit and goes and walks out the door and just casually strolls back to his house.
No, he's
Riley
gonna
would
make a
wrap the metal silverware in like his napkin and then just stuff it in his sweatshirt pocket. He'd be beaming. Not because he has a knife, but it's like utensils.
Gift.
Kelly just
I-
like, as she sees Henderson just go out of sight, she goes, I will not be surprised if he does something big with ordering stuff.
Should we be concerned?
That's a very good question.
Just saying, if we find the treehouse being kind of, in a sense, fancified by Henderson, don't be surprised.
Okay.
I really gotta bring you guys over to Henderson's house one of these days to see how he truly is.
Riley would just
He is
tilt his
different
head.
from. He is different how he is out here, compared to where him in his home.
Hmm.
So our teacher, not actually crazy rich man in home?
He is crazy, rich man, but craziness level kind of hits a higher point.
He goes from crazy rich man to really crazy rich man.
Crazy rich man is more crazy at home.
Yes.
Understood.
Like some of the stuff in his house, you kind of you question, but you know you can't question with him.
Riley not ask a lot of questions about strange things,
For
knowing full well
example,
what's been
the
happening.
armor stand that produces hot chocolate.
What's an armor stand?
Alright.
Just look over, just tilt that immediately after that is said.
Yeah.
Just gonna slowly just degrade just a blank stare and just say, I'm not even going to be surprised if we ever find out he's an alien.
Riley would just sit there because he didn't hear shit.
It's like, I heard nothing.
He'd be more interested in the fact that he got utensils and that James is here. Anywho,
So, where should we go next? I mean, right now it's recess time, but we can easily just leave the recess. Seeing
I
how this is
no one's
literally the end of the day.
Yes, no one's really monitoring recess. It's pretty much just stay here and have fun, go home, do whatever time.
Goodbye.
You actually leaving?
I don't know. Is that consensus?
Riley go wherever friends go.
I mean, you two can go ahead and start on the interior design a bit, and we can go try and find a tree, or
I'm down to try
much
to
as I
find
don't
tree.
want to go see what Mr. Henderson is doing at home. Or we can head over to Kelly's home.
How about this? We first find a tree and then we go to say hi to Mr. Henderson's home.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that. Anyway, alright, let's go ahead and get going then.
Okay.
Adventure!
I'll go ahead and put us back to the town map, and you guys can move out to whatever it is you choose to move.
Adventure.
So, so basically the cave is around right here, correct?
I'm sure. Yeah, it's kind of up around there.
So it's right. It's kind of up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means
The entrance to the ship.
so we
I'll go ahead
do.
and actually, go ahead. Go to the map.
I don't know how to do the arrow thing.
It's the ruler tool.
Ah,
How does? Oh,
where's
I
the
see.
ruler tool?
Whee! Along the left side. It's the one that looks like a circle with a little thing coming out of it.
Ah,
You nutsos. Fucking.
It's not me. He's orange. He
So,
drew black.
basically, it's just kind of between here and it's like right around here is the cave.
They're showing us this.
Oh my god, you guys stop! Stop making the spider web.
Spider-Man.
There.
Okay, get it
AJ,
out of here,
seriously.
Agent. Get it out of here. God damn it.
Okay, you're crazy.
So, oh, did you
There's
put
the
a circle?
cave. I put a
Okay.
circle. Well, an oval, but yeah.
Okay, so
So you guys are just going straight from school to.
to up here in the sense of
Okay.
things.
Oop, that's not my mouse.
You guys do that. I'm gonna just actually sit here and think of things.
So we
Suppose
have
James is going with you guys.
Oh,
Oh
James
my
is
god,
coming
who the
along.
fuck?
Probably.
I'll do it down here. It's like,
Cool. We got the cool kid with us.
So, yeah, so we're around the between point. So Kelly's starting to look around, see if there's any nice, any big sturdy looking trees around the area.
There are plenty. It is a forest. It's been around for quite a while.
Yeah. Uh, Carl!
Shush. Move along. Nothing to see here.
You're typing in my chat.
Nothing to see here.
We can all see your sins.
The only ones who can't
This is
is
how
the
everything's
VOD.
connected. This is the spider web of Respawn's creation of stories.
Stop it.
Get out of here,
Stop
you
it.
fucking mongoloid. Alright.
Okay, but yeah, Kelly starts looking at, see if there's a, it's like, well, guys, let's see if we can pick a good tree.
Riley would instantly just start climbing the nearest tree.
Give me investigate rolls or something. I don't know. Tree.
Oh my
Tree.
god!
Allison. Alright. So Kelly's like, this seems like a pretty nice tree. Riley, meanwhile, has climbed a tree and determined that it's the best tree. Like, he's climbed to the top and he can see over the other trees and over a good bit of the town from up here, too. Like, it's got a very nice... The top of this tree has a very nice view of town.
Riley
Could
has
even
found
see the...
tree.
Could even see the Firewatch Tower and, like, the very tip of the chimney of Allison's place from here. Riley just happens to randomly climb up the perfect tree in the area.
Same instance from yesterday where it was like, hey, go find the thingy finder. It's like, okay. Just immediately goes to the cabinet it's in.
Riley has very strangely good luck when it comes to finding things.
He's a notoriously good finder.
Meanwhile, Allison just found a fucking tree sprout.
Allison's just gonna keep an eye on you two for the moment.
Riley, how's that tree?
Riley would just like climb back down and just freaking just jump to the ground and be like, "It's a good tree," and pats the tree.
Good tree.
It's a good
But-
tree. You can
Is it
see
really
whole
good?
place.
Oh, it's a tall tree.
Tall tree. Can see watching fire tower, orange person's home, an entire town.
Oh.
Yep,
He's
it is
good.
tall. It's rather thick. It seems old and strong.
Okay, we found our tree.
Found tree.
So how are we gonna make sure we don't lose this tree to come back and start building our stuff?
Riley,
James pulls a little bit of yellow twine from a pocket and slowly ties it around the tree, just a little loop. He's like, my dad works sorry. My father works for the lumber yard. They use this to designate trees that they're not going to cut down.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
trees.
He always told me to keep some on me just because you never know when you could use some twine. It's a very good multi-tool.
Mm. Okay, so we found our tree.
Mark a tree. Yes. Now what?
So, we could see if Trevor has the blueprints and then go over to Mr. Henderson's and say hi to him.
Sounds good to me.
I was told that I was supposed to come home soon after school.
Okay, see you, James.
So long.
Bye bye.
We'll walk
Bye.
back to town with you and we'll part ways there, I guess.
Okay. So he'll walk with you guys as you make your way back to town. I'm going to go ahead and draw some more shapes. What color do we want it to be?
Yes.
Bright green.
Or that'll blend in a bit with the...
Maybe
Okay.
yellow.
Yeah,
Hot
yellow.
fucking pink. No.
Let's go with yellow. It was around about...
It was around here. Yeah, it was around there. Ish.
Oh, whoops. I put that on the token layer. Let me fix that real quick. Bam. There we go. It's on the map.
Okay.
That little yellow ring is the treehouse. Well, currently just a tree, but perhaps soon.
So we approach Trevor's house, and
James has split off at this point to go back
Yeah.
to his place.
Yeah.
Kelly goes up to Trevor, knocks at his door.
Trevor.
Trevor's
Midday, so probably still the only one home. Well, maybe his sister's home at this point, but yeah. Just opens door. Oh, hey guys. Fine,
Trevor.
Yes.
You split from the others to go home.
Yes.
You got home.
Yay.
You weren't expecting anyone to be home?
Maybe? Like maybe my sister?
You open the door and your whole family is home and seems to be preparing for something.
Alright, Thanksgiving's a thing.
Yes. Your mother and father are in the kitchen, seemingly making some food and packaging it into Tupperware.
Huh?
And your sister is kind of just sitting nearby, just relaxing. It's like, oh, hey, there you are.
Did I agree to something? And forget about it?
I mean,
It seems our folks had a surprise planned for us.
Sounds about right.
there was that whole punishment thing for skipping school. Maybe this is it.
Forced social time.
Oh, it's about to get really social when we arrive.
Shit, you're right.
So, Trevor, in the time between the others showing up and you having arrived at home to this, you would have been filled in on the situation.
Hmm.
I will message it to you, and you can you can say whatever you want to either explain it to the others or just generally converse however you really wish.
concerning.
This is fine. See how this goes.
Hella.
Quietness.
Oh, yeah, I'm just messaging him.
Oh my god.
He's never gonna give this up, is he?
All right.
Nope.
Oh,
So
Looked in the fruit chat.
Alright.
So yeah, Trevor, your sister, since your parents were busy, has explained to you why all this is happening.
I see.
So you open the door as the others show up.
Hey,
Oh. Well, this works out.
we
So,
found our tree.
Oh, nice.
Apparently, it's one of the tallest trees. Riley was able to see the whole town by climbing on top of it.
Definitely works.
Good tree
So,
climb.
what's up? Any planning on your end?
No, got held up with family things.
Really?
We all might get held up with family things here shortly.
What? Why?
Riley, we'll look for the nearest
Our
exit.
parents conspired with each other, apparently.
Huh?
Yeah, apparently we're all going to Allison's place.
Huh?
Like I said, our parents conspired.
Wait, now hold on a minute. Now
Riley-
this ain't alright. This is how it's supposed to go.
Riley would look at his wrist and be like, "Oh, look at time! Time for me to go."
Grabbing Riley. Riley, if we're going through this, you're coming with us.
Can't. I can't. It's socialized. I live in a basement. You can't do this.
That's fine. We'll go
Riley,
over to my
food.
place. Forever in that.
Yeah, but food does
Yes.
not circumvent the fact that I have to talk to everyone's parents.
I don't want to deal with it either.
Oh, okay, no. You can't feel like, oh, it's gonna be fine. They're gonna start asking, oh, where do you live? And how do you think I'm going to have to respond?
Just say you chill with Mr. Henderson because your parents are out of town.
Actually, Mr. Henderson would totally accept that. Would
No.
totally.
No.
Yeah.
He might roll if he's going to be there, apparently.
Wait, what?
So
Is
I've
it
been
the-
explained.
Is it the whole town or what?
Our family's, James's, Henderson is the list I know.
Mm,
Why is it in my house?
I don't fucking know.
We live out in the woods.
Maybe they drew straws. How if I know?
Oh my god. I was told before that there would be food ready when I get home. I didn't think. Oh my god.
They never said when you get to who's home.
Riley would just look at all three of
Kelly
you
just
being like, we're
stops
social
for a moment
outcasts. You guys
and
are really social.
No. Kelly, you see Kelly kind of stop and just like think back of at Henderson's actions. It's like. I feel like Henderson planned this.
Remind me to stab Henderson.
We are not stabbing anyone.
No.
Riley just pulls out the knife utensil he got from Mr. Jensen. I still have the knife.
No.
Let me borrow that for the time we're home.
Riley-
No.
Oh, a knife. You don't need one.
Yes,
Riley-
but this adds to the irony. Get it?
No. Allison, no. You're not stabbing Henderson.
Can I at least puncture him?
No.
Riley would just start panicking internally, but he tries his best not to show it. He'd just be like, I really shouldn't be doing this. Not good.
Okay, when are we going, I guess, Trevor?
Soon-ish?
Let's go ahead and get a head start. Come on.
No.
Oh.
Riley would just
Hey.
slowly and ever so slowly just start panicking.
Grabs onto his wrist and starts walking home.
Oh my god. Wanna try getting out of fucking Allison's death?
Do it. I'll do it. I swear to God, I will.
Oh, you gotta.
Oh!
All right, these two are on the sidewalk in like a tug of war, neither one moving.
Riley think it not good idea if Riley goes to this.
It's fine, Riley. You'll...
No, it's not good.
Should have competing force rolls. Oh, Riley got a 1.
Oh!
But Allison let go.
Riley
breaks
full on.
free.
Riley full on sprints to his house.
I throw a knife in the back of his head. I'm kidding.
No!
That'd be funny though.
Riley full on sprints to his house.
Alright.
Riley ain't about that. Riley is very scared. Riley would just run. Oh, jump, hop the fence. Fucking go over to the back of the house. Goes into the basement and just like close the doors and then just goes into the fetal position on his sleeping bag.
I'll go see if I can talk.
Alright.
Riley. Kelly kind of jogs up to the house. She quietly gets past the gate, stays quiet and walks over to the back where the basement door is, kind of slightly knocks on it.
Riley like listens, knowing full well his mom would never go outside. And just
Riley?
kind of just walk up and sit next to the door.
Riley, you okay?
Is fine. Just not good with social things.
And that's understandable. But you're with us.
He kind of fiddle there. Again, his fingers are now going like Mach speed in his sweatshirt pocket. He's just sitting there. And he would continue to just sit at the door.
If anything bad does happen, we'll get you out of there as fast as we can.
Just don't understand. Riley not supposed to be around a lot of people. Riley not good with socializing. It's not. It goes against what Mama says.
Yet you're socializing with us.
Riley took a chance. Riley didn't have much of a choice. Orange Lady kind of poked me.
I mean, are we bad people?
No. Different.
We're all different.
Mama said, though, that there were bad people and that I needed to be safe. So I am trying to make sure that I listen to Mama.
Okay. Would you believe your friends on saying that the people that you're going to be encountering are safe?
You would think, sitting on the stairway, contemplating what she said. It was true that, Riley should more than likely trust with all the shit that they've been through. It couldn't be any worse than a socialization. But then he remembers what his mother said before and what's ingrained in his head about the rules about being here, and understands that he should be wary.
I understand you can be wary because you don't have many folks to talk to, and your mom did say to avoid a lot of folks. But these people are folks that me, Allison, Trevor were raised with. In the sense of we've been around them our whole lives. So, if we're hanging around them, they can't be too bad, right?
Riley would sit there, adjust his bandana a little bit before just taking it off just to like look at it once more and get a good look at the bandana and just get a relaxed feeling. He'd look around his room and look around the basement, realizing that being there with people would be far better than sitting in the basement counting the days like he did before. He'd put the bandana back on, tighten the knot behind it, adjust it, making sure that his hair came over the bandana a little bit, look up at the door, and just slightly push it open and crawl on out. And he'd not fully stand, he'd kind of just scoot out and then close the door behind him, and he'd just sit there and he'd be like, if it's bad, Riley can leave?
Yes.
You think?
Riley, did you put your bandana back on?
I did put my bandana back on.
Okay. Kind of lost in the moment, and I think my just making sure.
I have my bandana back on, I assure you.
Okay.
He'd
He
look
only
at
came involved.
I had a moment where I wasn't Rambo and nobody saw it. He'd look up at Kelly and then he'd nod and do it, and making a weak attempt to smile. He'd still be nervous, and in the back of his head there'd still be those red flags of, you can't be doing this, you gotta survive, you can't do this, you gotta survive. And then
I
he'd stand.
guarantee you that if anything bad happens, you can totally leave. And we can come up with an excuse saying that your parents called you, or like you need to get something, but not sure if you're gonna be coming back or something, because you can get sidetracked or something like that.
What if people ask about home? What if people ask about background? Riley, not supposed to talk about home. Riley, don't want to be socially awkward.
We'll come up with something.
Riley would not be content with what he heard. He'd stand up, look at Kelly, and be like, okay, I go.
Actually, I think I have a plan already suited in the sense of things.
He tilted his head.
Let's stop by Mr. Henderson's house for a quick bit and see if he's home. You can easily walk to Allison's house afterwards. And Kelly proceeds to start walking down to Henderson's house.
Riley would follow. Okay.
They get to Henderson's house.
Henderson is outside, kind of just leaning on his car, which is kind of sitting there warming up.
Hi, Henderson.
Oh, hello, you two.
Oh,
By any chance, did you set up today's interesting get-together with
I see you found out already. It wasn't entirely my own doing. We all discussed amongst ourselves.
Yeah, though.
Because of course I heard the stories, and of course your parents all have heard about it as well to some degree from either you or the rest of us who decided to share. And of course, we do live up in the mountains, so getting family from out of town to come visit, and also going to them is a bit of a hassle. So a lot of us decided, why not just have a big community feast together, where all of the kids who are friends can, enjoy some time.
Okay. Though, I do need to talk to you about something, because if Riley here is coming along with, it's going to be kind of awkward if anyone asks him about his family, because he's kind of in a more situation where he can't really talk about it.
Riley's mom does not want to go. Mom wants to stay home. So cannot bring Mom and prefer not to talk about Mom at this thing. He'd be very nervous.
Well, I suppose if anyone asks, I can just introduce you as my grand nephew or some such, visiting.
Riley would giggle and be happy with that.
You
Thanks.
can you can ride with me in my car up to the Denise place.
Okay.
Aliens.
Just as you drive by, Allison screams, "Aliens!"
Until you ought to be getting home, so your parents can drive you up there as well. They're probably wondering where you are.
Ladies and
Oh.
gentlemen, Allison, the town crier.
Yeah. I'll leave. I'll see you at Allison's house. Okay, Riley?
He'd nod. Thank you.
No problem. And Callie waves as she runs over to her own house.
Till you arrive home, your mother seems very relieved to see you. Oh, there you are. We were wondering where you were.
Sorry, got a little sidetracked here and there with friends.
Speaking of your friends, we have a surprise.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh, well, that kind of takes the surprise out of it. But yes, your father's finishing putting the last of the food we cooked into Tupperware containers and such. Then we're going to pile into the car, drive up to the Neath's house. We'll be having a big group Thanksgiving feast.
Mm. How many? So which families are gonna be showing up? In sense of things.
Well,
Which? How many people and such like that?
well, there's our family, of course, the three of us.
Mhm.
There's going to be the Deneths as well, so there's the three of them. The Parks are coming, so there's four of them. We tried to talk to the Logan family, but sadly they said they couldn't make it.
Mm.
The Petrovich family, there's four of them. And then, of course, Mr. Henderson wanted to come along. And, well, we figured we might as well let him. He's a good family friend, considering he takes,
Yeah.
he helps you out as much as he does.
Mhm.
And he had actually said that he was interested in bringing someone new to town with, in the hopes that they could, maybe make some friends if they hadn't already.
Kelly just stops and thinks like.
I'm being indoctrinated.
You're being drafted again.
Yes, if Kelly had not gone and gotten Riley herself, Mr. Henderson would have driven to his place and gotten him.
Oh
But you kind
my
of did that.
god.
But you
That
kind
would
of
have
did
been an
that for
interesting
him.
encounter.
You kind of did that for him, so he's not complaining.
So Mr. Henderson had this games mindset the very beginning.
Yeah, his part to play in all this was that he was going to get Riley, since Riley had no one who would otherwise bring him.
I have no one.
Because he's a kid. Because from Mr. Henderson's point of view, it's a kid who's new to the area, doesn't really have any friends. His family isn't so well off, so he figured that it would be in his right as a teacher to bring the kid along for Thanksgiving and try to make him some friends. But you guys already befriended him, so you know what? You know what? It all worked out anyways.
Good socializing.
Yes.
Kelly
Bad
goes,
luck.
"Oh, I think I already know who Henderson's bringing. His name's Riley."
Yeah, I think that was the name he gave us.
Yep. Shall we get
Well,
going?
Yeah, so as soon as you're ready, we'll just get in the car and we'll head up there.
Mhm. And Kelly.
Trevor, your family as well is getting themselves packed up into the car.
Yeah. Allison, you just want to ride with us?
Hmm. I feel. Your folks are in on what's going on, yeah, Trevor?
In terms
Like they know
of
what's going on. Do they know all who's going with them, or like going up to my house?
Yeah, my sister's the one that explained everything to me.
Okay. Kind of want to invite the O'Malleys, but
Confused look.
Oh.
Huh.
because, well, there's only the three of them, and maybe they could use a bit of friendship as well.
They kind of bully each other. Isn't that a friendship as it is?
Well, Allison, you would in fact know where they live, considering it's a small town.
Yeah. So I'd probably say I'll make my way up to home later. I'm gonna go see if the O'Malleys would like to come.
Sure.
So Trevor and Kelly have both, uh, gotten to their family's cars and such are getting packed up.
Mhm.
Riley's with Mr. Henderson, who's still waiting for his very, very old but very, very nice looking car to finish warming up so it'll actually go anywhere. James has managed to make it back to his place, and his family is getting ready. Allison, you head over to the O'Malley residence.
Yes. Do they live in? What like area do they live in? Actually, like what kind of house?
They live in a pretty standard looking house. The yard's a bit overgrown and nasty looking. And there's a few various sporting implements just kind of left about.
Friggin' Neanderthal.
Probably
It's
just kind
It's a house that has like the bare minimum to keep it intact, but not necessarily looking good.
Pea brains.
I'd probably just kind of like quietly just walk up to the door and just kind of knock on it lightly.
You'd hear the sound of some footsteps heading for the door. It opens, and it's either Reggie or Ricky. It's hard to say which. It's like, oh, it's you.
Should really get tattoos to tell which one's
Okay,
which.
Ricky or Reggie, you two do this on purpose. I know it, but is your father happen to be home?
He kind of looks back and I was like, Dad, kid from school wants to know if wants to talk to you. You hear some grunting and the sounds of a man removing himself from an armchair.
Oh boy, it's one of these dads.
And then some louder footsteps. He makes his way over. He's got a tank top. It's got some stains on it.
No.
He looks a bit disheveled.
Oh no.
Comes over there's like, yeah.
I thought I'd send an invitation to come up to my family's house where a bunch of the other families are kind of celebrating Thanksgiving. For you and your kids.
Well, I can't bring much, but sure.
It's a gesture of kindness, essentially, because y'all seem to not do much as a family, and I thought it would be a nice gesture.
Shouldn't say that.
Sure, why not?
Just for Ricky and Reggie, all I ask is try not to cause too much trouble.
He looks down at the one of them that's holding the door, and gives him just a very brief but kind of light smack on the head, just like, you hear that? Behave yourself. Go get your brother. And he runs off up the stairs.
Okay.
This is going to be interesting.
Well, we'll see you there. I need
Okay.
a change of clothes. Slowly closes the door.
Bye, Mr. O'Malley.
See you.
And they'd probably start walking off back to home.
Should have murdered those kids with the knife. Anyway,
Oh God.
Listen, that's the plan. Murder them in the crowd. No one will notice it's me. Great.
shit.
Allison,
Yes?
you're just kind of walking along. The sun's getting a bit low. It hasn't set yet, but it's a bit above the tree line.
Actually, I probably... Yeah, before I forget, I probably would have went back and just started riding my bike.
Yeah, you probably have had your bike with you most of this time. You've just
Yeah.
either been walking it or for this last little bit while you were alone riding it. As you're going along, I assume you're just going like this way so you can take the roads.
Yeah, essentially.
So you go by Trevor's house, and as you're going down this way, you see a familiar figure just kind of gliding by on a skateboard.
No.
What the hell?
Not
Oh,
again.
it's William.
It's William. It's
Well,
William
yeah.
Ryder.
It's the man who knows
Hmm?
everything.
He turns his head to look at you as his skateboard just kind of keeps going with him on it.
I'd probably just like right alongside him. There's a bit of a gathering up at my house for Thanksgiving. You want to come up with?
Sure, why not? He
Out of character, it's like, have his mother or anything still around, or is it just him?
that's a very good question that no one has asked.
It's a very good question we haven't investigated.
Huh. Say, do you have anyone
Right.
you want to bring with you? Family?
Nah, I'm good. You plan on biking all the way up there?
Essentially.
Alright, here, one sec. His skateboard kind of slows down a bit, and he just gently grabs onto, like, the back of your bike, so you can just kind of tow him along.
This
Free
is fun.
ride, free Uber. 80s Uber.
And you start continuing biking the way up.
Alright. It would be a bit harder than usual going up this trail, but, I mean, you've been doing it most of your life, so, honestly, this doesn't slow you down much.
This is fine.
But, by the time you get there, the others would already have been arriving. Kelly's family in kind of just a small, simplistic car. You know, like one of those just like standard family cars.
Mhm.
Something pretty basic. Trevor's family shows up in something that was. It was kind of. It's still a family car, but it's the closest his dad could find that kind of resembled a sports car while still being
Oh
a family car.
Oh boy.
There might
Sounds about right.
You know, there might have been something better he wanted to do with his life before he kind of ended up as an office worker. But, you know, a sports car looking family car. Mr. Henderson, with Riley in the passenger seat, shows up in a very old fashioned looking car that probably is, in fact, very old fashioned.
I learned
kind-
how a car works.
And it kind of putters up there. James's family shows up in a very beat up old truck that makes a lot of noise because it's had a very long and stressful life. After that, Allison on bike shows up with William in tow. And then a bit after that, another car would show up.
Hmm.
It's just a truck. Not necessarily in bad condition, not necessarily in good condition. But you can see that there seems to be a scuffle going on in the back seat.
Oh no.
That just gives it away right there.
As a fairly large gentleman is at the front.
Instead, probably just put my bike in its normal spot out back.
Yep.
And just start making my way inside the house.
Yep, people are being welcomed at the front door to your guys' house and being let inside, going over to the kitchen to drop off foods that they cooked so they can be, you know, properly plated and all that. And there's a big dining table set up. It's your normal dining room table, but it's had, you know, some extra leaves put in it to extend it, some extra chairs found and placed around it.
Oh my god.
I'd probably see if I could find Sarah.
Alright. Firstly, you would be able to find you'd be able to find your uncle slash dad William first of all because he's out back barbecuing.
Oh, sounds about right.
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh, you're looking for Sarah? She's upstairs at the moment."
Okay, I'll just tell you since you're here. I invited William Ryder here to come with us, and I also invited the O'Malley family.
All right.
'Cause I thought it'd be nice to invite a few other people.
Well, William's plenty welcome, I suppose. I don't know if he has anywhere else to be. You'll probably want to talk to Sarah about the O'Malley. She does work with Richard at the bar. But I suppose if nothing else, he can help us with the cooking since that's his job.
Make a mini margarita.
Yeah, probably. They say, alrighty, I'll go tell Sarah.
As you're making your way up to Sarah, let's see what everyone else at the feast is doing. As things
Kelly. She's not really good with these social gatherings too much
Yeah.
herself.
But I mean, like, Where in and or around the home would you like to
She's
go? And
kind
I'll
of
let you know who's where.
she's kind of just sitting out in front a little bit in the sense of things, because she doesn't really like a lot of folks in one small area.
Yeah.
So she kind of is just outside where there's a lot more room and air.
Yeah. You can smell the smoke of them barbecuing out back, and uh, you get to watch as the O'Malley family, father and sons, uh, get like a plastic bag out of the truck and then head around back. You can hear the brothers already kind of wrestling a bit in the dirt. The others
Not
pretty much
just-
all head inside, with the exception of people who decide that their characters do not head inside, and Mr. Henderson, who finishes parking his car and comes over to check on you.
Oh, hey Henderson.
Hello, Kelly.
I would be inside, but small places with a lot of folks are somewhere I
Well,
don't really like to be too much.
oh, it's perfectly reasonable. They'd considered using my place, but it's already so cluttered with stuff and perhaps a bit eccentric for the other family's tastes.
Yeah.
And with the exception of my place, the Neath household is one of the bigger ones in the entire town.
Mm, that's understandable. Um, so how long did you had this idea of skimming up for?
Oh, myself and all of the parents had been considering it for a few days now, making plans.
Really?
Yes. Wanted it to be a surprise.
And the factor of you already had a mindset of introducing Riley in the sense of things as well.
Yes. As soon as he popped up in the school records, I, of course, did a little bit of research and found out that he was new to town. And considering we're already partway through the school year and most of the social groups have, for the most part, already formed, I figured he'd be in need of friends. So I considered that you and your group, who you spend so much time with, seem pretty friendly and open. So I thought I'd introduce you all on this Thanksgiving night. But it seems as though you lot have already introduced each other to each other.
Yeah,
As
we
it were.
have. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks now we've interacted with each other.
It's quite marvelous then.
Hmm.
Should have went home. No. Riley would just be sitting closely behind Henderson, like eyes darting from person to person.
Well,
He'd be
for the
very
most,
nervous.
at the moment, unless Trevor is also out in front of the house, it's just you three.
Yes.
Uh, if if Riley, if you need to, you can chill out with me out here, where there's a lot less crowd.
He would just like hover next to Mr. Henderson, but then slowly hover next to the both of you and just sit there and watch. He'd be in this kind of defensive mode of consistently looking for threats. Not really sure where they're going to come from, but he just would still be paranoid.
You're fine. It's okay, Riley. I did tell Riley that if anything bad occurs, he can leave. Huh, Henderson?
That's all right then.
Yeah.
Can always come up with some excuse why I'm needing to head back to my own. Doubt anyone would question it.
Yep. Figured we would come up with some decent excuse in some sort of manner if Riley needed to run out for some reason.
Right. I'll take care of it if it needs to happen.
Thank you.
Of course.
I would give a deep sigh, trusting that, if there was bad things happening, that he'd at least have an escape plan and do his best to relax.
And Trevor, you said you were staying out front with the other three here?
Yeah.
Are you adding to this conversation at all, or just kind of standing there?
I'm just here.
All right.
Hi,
Let's go ahead
Trevor.
and
Hello.
all right. Let's go ahead and catch up with Allison, who's heading upstairs to find Sarah.
Sarah, you up here?
Yes, one moment.
Update
She
my
steps out of her
page.
room, a bit fancied up from her usual outfit, because this is a bit of a thing going on. It's like, yes?
Interesting outfit.
Well, I mean, it's not too much out of the ordinary. I just wanted to make sure it was presentable for the other families.
Meanwhile, wearing hoodie and jeans and boots. Anyway, uh, William said that I should let you know that I invited Mr. William Ryder and the O'Malley family over
Oh, okay.
because
That's
I thought it'd be nice to bring the O'Malleys over, considering some of the other families have.
fair.
I hope that's not an issue.
No, I know Richard from work. He's been through a lot, but he doesn't. He's been through a lot, and it shows. But he doesn't let it change the way he acts too much.
I hope this will help ease him a little, I guess.
Yeah. If nothing else, he's probably out back discussing barbecue tips with William and offering him a drink already.
Oh boy.
Probably. But it's Thanksgiving, so we'd be happy for what we have.
Of course. Let's go ahead and head back downstairs.
Okay. Start
Oh.
walking down.
As Kelly's like talking to the Henderson, Kelly's like, "Oh, we found a good tree."
Just nod. Mr. Henderson just nods.
And Kelly points in the general direction of where the tree is. We did mark it with like a yellow string around it. It's apparently one of the tallest trees in the forest. Riley is able to see the whole town from the top of it.
Really? Well, that should be quite good then. Once you guys have an idea of what it is you want to make and what all you'll need for it, I'll see about shelling out some money. Actually, you're probably going to need a good bit of lumber. I believe I saw Mr. Petrovich here. He works at the lumberyard. I can talk to him about getting something straight from the source, probably for a discount.
Hmm.
I believe it was Mr. Petrovich's first name was Dmitri, I believe. I wonder where he went to.
He's probably inside.
Well, if you all don't mind then, I suppose I have some business to attend to. You guys make
Okay.
sure that you guys just make sure to have a plan ready at some point in the future, and I'll get whatever supplies you need for it.
Thank you, Henderson.
Of course, just be careful and don't get yourselves hurt. Construction is a somewhat dangerous task.
Reminiscing about somehow Alice in the treehouse. Yeah, sure. Careful.
So Mr. Henderson goes inside to go see if he can find Mr. Petrovich and discuss lumber costs.
Kelly kind of just pulls out her journal and it's like, sorry, I would be inside, but I can
Is
close quarter areas with a lot of folks are not my favorite places to be.
is okay. Not good with small spaces with people in them either. Tech first time with large.
Yeah.
First Thanksgiving too, I guess. He kind of just looked down, somber like, and kind of just put his hands in his pockets.
Yeah, it's okay. Funny thing was, I was thinking about inviting you over to my place if it wasn't for Henderson setting this up.
I do want you guys to know I had been planning this since the start of the session. So listening to you guys are, making your own plans like, oh hey, everything's coming together. This will be great.
Cusco fucking Kronk. Everything's coming together. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like, Riley would just look up and be like, "This is true. I figured something like this would happen. I just wish Mom would be here. He'd
I'd
go,
rather do fuck.
he'd go quiet.
Okay, I did it. Good enough.
My
Okay.
gosh. Can I not have like an intimate moment where I'm talking
Sorry.
about my mother without you screaming your head off about aliens?
I'm sorry. I had to do it.
Absolute clog. All right,
Sorry, I'll stop.
but like, he'd sit there, be quiet about it, knowing full well reasons.
Reasons.
Kelly
look.
kind of stops her little doodle fest and kind of does what she did what she did earlier, which is grabbing her left hand and just kind of rubbing it, rubbing her palm with her
Look.
right.
He'd look up and just be like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be sad. Is giving thanks, ye? So
You're fine. You're fine.
I. He'd like have this like weird look on his face because he's still learning about social cues, but he knows from a book this was one of them, and like his socially awkward, yes, is not good. I should not have brought that up.
No, you're okay. I'm just mostly thinking about some other stuff that's been going on. Is it lately?
Mountain stuff.
Mm, that and some other things.
Art class.
Yeah.
Allison do good in bathroom. In talking and stuff.
Kind of. I mean, it's more the fact of what happened in the art classroom that got me wild up a little bit. Because I drew something I didn't realize, I didn't recall drawing. And that makes the sixth time something like that occurred.
You think have something connected to Ted's dad in Thingy?
Well, I have a feeling it's starting to because one of the pictures, one of the 6 pictures I have is a tornado.
Mm. Do pictures lead up to something happening in real life?
Maybe, I don't know. They're just weird because I don't remember drawing them. It's like my memory go blank, basically, with drawing these things.
Pictures tell a story. And maybe it's hard to read because the entire story isn't there yet.
Well,
Maybe
this story doesn't make sense to start with if that's the case. Because the
no.
6 pictures I've drawn up are a smiling man with a knife in him, a
Oh,
demon with soft hands, a field of fur, a door with a ball of eyes, teeth, and hands behind it, and a tornado, and then there was today, which is a white tree with red vines, separated from all the other plants with a purple bearing fruit on its branches.
no story is known fully when the story is still going. Story is only known when the story ends. So maybe story is not done yet. So would not know about story until the story ends, so to speak.
I wouldn't be as bothered if it wasn't for the fact I don't recall myself drawing these things. And then there was the recent stuff with the possession stuff, with me being taken over. I remember those moments clear as day. Hell, I know what he was saying for my body, for me and such like that. But
He'd look up and give a weak, coy smile. Be thankful. And then, like, look out towards the forest and be like, be thankful that you are you. You are not perfect, but you're good enough for us. You just kind of like gently like pat her shoulder. Awkwardly, because it's the first time like he's done a, I don't know, motivational talk, speech, whatever. But he just like pat, and just be there.
Kelly is kind of looking down at her hands, on her splotchy hands in the sense of her skin tone and such like that. Still rubbing her thumb over the palm of her left hand.
Being unique is not bad. And sure, people have flaws. Look at Orange Lady. She can't go 5 minutes without trying to murder someone. and
Hughes and Allison walking around corner.
and Blockhead is got Blockhead issue. Head is square, but we still like him, yeah.
Looks over at Trevor.
Trevor, not bad person because head is square. Trevor make up for it because Trevor is unique. Same with Orange Lady. Orange Lady may be person with violent tendencies, but Orange Lady is good leader and cares for people. Trevor cares as well. Trevor understands reality and is very down to earth. Very blunt, like Square.
Though I feel like we're probably gonna be not so down to earth with what we're gonna be doing, with the stuff we're gonna be stumbling into, and stuff like that.
As long as we're together, anything is possible, and we can get through it together. We are friends.
Yeah. Also, where's Allison? And I'm asking out of character. Where's Allison in all this?
I think he's upstairs still talking to his sister.
Out of character-wise, I've been downstairs. I was probably just kind of standing on the porch looking at you fucks for a while now.
Oh, hi, Allison.
Orange Lady's back.
Carol Park, Trevor's mom, sticks her head out the front door. She's like, "Oh, you're all right here. We're all sitting down to say grace and such and have the feast.
Okay.
You don't have to stay at the table, but you could at least stay around for that."
Okay.
Riley would nod, still being nervous. It's people.
I'll head inside.
Yep, Kelly heads inside and such.
Riley would also head inside, following Kelly.
All the kids usher inside.
Yes.
All the kids yeet through the windows and land
No!
So
That's all you think.
as mentioned, there's the dining room. The dining table is all splayed out and ready. It seems like most of it's set up so the families can sit at their own, in their own sections. Each family can sit with their family members and such, but you can really sit wherever you want if you want. All the various foods that each family has cooked and carefully brought here has been placed on fancy little dishes and reheated as needed. This all looks very good. There's probably like 2 turkeys.
Is there ham? Is there honey glazed
There,
ham?
there's like an entire ham, yes.
Yes.
Is it a sugar-free zone?
Okay.
Good
Not
question.
That's not a good question. If it has
Okay.
a bad answer.
Okay, so I'm not terribly a turkey fan when it comes to Thanksgiving. I'll eat the ham, but I will not touch the turkey when it comes to.
I eat a little bit of turkey just because it's part of the season, but I'm also not big on it. I
Yeah.
eat a little bit just because it's kind of expected, but beyond that, I just eat whatever else I want.
Yeah.
Just to me.
But the whole family is, sitting very politely, just nicely waiting for everything to start, looking very pleased. The Neath family seems, well, Sarah's at one end of the table, looking very happy, but maybe a little stressed because, she put a lot of effort into making this all nice since it was her house that was chosen to host everyone. With her, with her husband, William Deneath, coming in through the back slider with Richard, Reggie, and Ricky, all of who seem to be in good spirits. William and Richard both carrying a beer apiece. And Reggie and Ricky both seeming a bit scuffed up, but
Oh
not
my
upset or
God.
anything.
Welcome to Jackass.
They're violent. They're
You're there.
violent children. The Park
Wait.
family's all sitting there, kind of just, just looking relaxed mostly.
Mhm.
We chill.
I'm
the
expecting the
Petrovich-
kid table to be destroyed because the O'Malley kids are there.
There's not a kids' table. Everyone gets to sit at the same table.
Damn it.
The Petrovich family is all just kind of sitting together. They seem a bit worn out and tired, but happy to be here. William is kind of just sitting there. It seems like you get this vibe from looking at him that he had his feet on the table probably a little while ago, got yelled at it for it, and now he's sitting normally and looking like he really wants to put his feet back on the table because it's comfortable, but he knows he shouldn't. So he seems kind of conflicted.
Sweating bullets over here.
He seems a bit uncomfortable because in order to be comfortable, he has to do something that he's not allowed to do, so he can't do it, so he's not comfortable.
Oh my God.
So he's just kind of sitting there, rocking back and forth a little, and just kind of waiting for things to start, hands in pockets.
Get that man a fidget spinner.
And then Mr. Henderson is at the other end of the table with an empty seat next to him for Riley.
Riley would, I guess, sit down. If that's it, she's made for him, he's gonna sit there.
Yes. So you're all free to sit wherever you'd like.
Kelly just sits probably at a seat by her family
All
and
right.
such.
Yeah.
All right. Trevor sits with his family.
I
Allison.
sit on the ceiling.
No.
You cannot defy physics for Thanksgiving. Get on the ground.
Allison sits with her family.
Sit with my family. Yes. I'm sorry, I had to say it. It was random and funny.
So around the table, everyone holds hands and such. It's a bit awkward in some places, but it happens. Mr. Henderson at his end of the table is standing. He takes Riley's hand in one hand, and let's say it's William's in the other hand. He's got the 2 lone children at his end.
Oh no.
Says, "Well, it's good that we were all able to make it here today. Let's all be thankful for this wonderful home, for this wonderful town, for the food we'll be eating, and for each other's company. Let's be thankful for the past that has brought us to this point, the present, and the present company, and for the future, and whatever mysteries it may bring." And then he will let go. Everyone can let go. You all just sit down, get comfortable, and start, asking for this and that, and filling your plates with whatever you want. And as you all are doing this, the camera will slowly pan backwards out through the back sliding glass door, which is closed, past the still cooling, still slightly smoking barbecue, past a little scuffle spot on the ground where the dirt got upturned, and then slowly back into the tree line. And it'll pass by a figure standing in the woods. A bit
God damn
oddly
it,
shaped. A bit oddly shaped and seemingly just watching from a safe distance. And credits.
Eleanor.
What the fuck is that?
Eleanor, it's an alien.
What?
I love how what's been developing through this campaign, and it's suddenly turned into Agent just screaming aliens. I'm sitting here like anytime we're in the woods and there's some creature we don't know, me, Wendigo.
Wendigo!
You
But
scream
that is-
alien, I scream Wendigo.
You guys are free to have whatever conversations you want around the table, but that's pretty much where we're going to end for today.
So, one quick thing. You said everyone gets comfortable again, and we do that. You mean everyone but William?
Well, yes, he's not allowed to put his feet on the table.
I can just
Go
see
ahead.
this. There's a figure in the forest. How do you respond? Agent's like, alien. Fucking Trevor's like, Wendigo. And I'm just like, mother.
Oh, hi, Mom. Like, what? What?
Mother?
Mother.
It's
Oh,
realistic.
God. Is everyone ready for questions and experience and such?
Yeah.
Yes.
This was again a bit more of a relaxed episode, so there might not be too much. But every little bit does count.
Hmm.
So, first and foremost, did you participate in the session?
Yes.
Yay.
No.
Get in here, you freaking traffic cone.
Yeah.
Have you been in trouble because of your problem or your relationships?
I don't
Ye-
really have.
Yes.
Really?
Kind of. I mean, I have to hide the fact that
Okay, fair.
mom can't be there.
Fair.
I
All right,
can't explain why mom can't be.
I will allow that. A social situation for you is a bit of a major problem.
With Kelly, it was more just choice making today. With like,
That's fair. All right, Kelly, you can have one. Allison, Trevor, have you been in trouble because of your problem or your relationships?
Don't think so, no?
Allison?
I'm trying to think. Does the punishment from last time continue over, considering it had an effect, or no? Because it didn't really affect the last session at all.
It also didn't really affect this one either, to be honest. You woke
This
up
is also
outside and that was it.
This is also
So,
true.
so let's go with. So I suppose let's go with no on that one.
Okay.
Next question: did you use or struggle with your pride?
No,
Kelly.
Not really.
I don't know.
Well, you went to school for the first time, so I'd say you might have.
Hella.
Kelly was a yes with her drawing situation during her art class.
Yes.
The only time I can think that my pride was used was when I was going to track down the O'Malley family.
I'll accept it. I'll accept it.
School was fun.
I would say that no one put themselves at risk for the other kids. Aside maybe Allison giving the O'Malley brothers their food.
We should have just fought them, honestly.
No.
I see no problems with this.
Trevor and Allison jump the O'Malley brothers, see how that goes.
One's got a knife,
The most,
the other's got a box.
is everyone ready for the most interesting question?
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. Have you learned something new, and what is it? Who would like to start?
Our parents all know and talk to each other.
Yeah, your mom's got a book club or something.
Well, not only our parents, but also Mr. Henderson apparently talks to them as well to a great
Yeah,
extent.
Mr. Henderson spies on me.
Well, no,
You-
because remember the last time she talked to Henderson about you.
You guys talk about me.
Kelly's pretty open with Mr. Henderson.
Well,
With
Trevor was the one who brought it up, so Trevor, you can have a point.
Somebody's watching me.
Gonna be those eyes.
Would like to go next with what they've learned for the day.
Um,
I mean, Allison learned that Kelly has been having things happen to her, such as like the possession, for instance, in the drawings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that may very well have been something new for you, so I will accept it.
School.
Sure. You know what? Sure. You know what? Fine. School.
It's school. It's just
School
school in
is-
well, because like there are like 3 classes. He's never been to
Yeah.
any of them.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
no,
there goes
that's
my
fine.
flirting thing because if you said school is a whole entire thing. with
Yeah, that is what
classes-
he's doing. School is new to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've never done school before. Remember?
Let's see. First class we learned about like the about plants with like fertilizer, basically, on how plants like to take nutrients from the ground and stuff like that, and certain plants like certain nutrients from certain fertilizers and stuff like that.
Yes, similar to how there are omnivores, herbivores, and carnivores. Plants subsist off of specific nutrients depending on how they've evolved. For example, dandelions and other weeds can survive off of basically anything. Whereas
Because weeds. Not the fun kind.
Whereas things like roses and tulips require very specific nutrients to be in the soil in order to thrive.
Mm-hmm. So,
Oh my god.
are we doing like a hive mind with plants situation?
Are you saying hive mind because that's what me and the chat have been talking about?
Well, not only that, but the second class talked about like hive mind situations, if you recall.
Who knows? All I've been doing this session for the most part is dropping hints about things in the future. But this entire episode was basically like nice family time with a huge helping of foreshadowing.
Gee, like the shadowy figure in the fucking woods.
What now?
Indeed, exactly.
It's not,
Hello.
and you didn't specify a human-looking figure. A misshapen figure.
When Nikos aren't proportioned correctly, I'm clearly right here, agent. Just Trevor and Alice get into a screaming match over what the thing is while they're staring at it. It just stands there like, bitch, you're both wrong.
It's just fucking Craig.
No, it was me, Jake from State Farm. No.
Oh no, that's even worse.
Aw, shit.
You
Oh
insurance,
my
hand it
God.
over.
Yikes.
It's okay, I have my ultimate trap card. It's
Okay.
free real estate.
Oh my god.
So, how did everyone enjoy the Thanksgiving episode?
Don't forget to put points
I
in
liked
if you
it.
have like 5.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
don't
I
forget,
have
If you
6.
if you have 5 experience points, you can take 5 of them away and up the skill by 1.
What should I do?
Yeah.
Whatever you think will be useful. Whatever you think you'll need.
Put more into investigate and comprehend.
Sure, why not? I mean, as long as if it hasn't hit the cap of 5 already, you can keep going with
No.
it.
I put more in force so I can drag people around.
Alright, gonna put more in
Actually-
force.
Actually, I'm gonna put 1 in force because of today's fucking shenanigans.
All about what you need.
This is why I don't fight.
It wasn't
Actually,
even a
no.
fight, it was just
No,
me dragging
I'm-
people
I'm-
around.
Not force. I'm gonna do my normal mind stuff until I get that.
My character is based more around body things, so I have the most points in force and sneak.
I think the
You know
only
what?
one in this party that might be able to take you on is James.
Russian muscles.
Rush beat, which be Berlin.
Oh, fuck.
We out here.
Let's just remember the fucking stupid video a friend of mine sent me fucking forever ago. It's like how the different nations rush B. Or some shit.
That
Where am I gonna find
exists. Hang on, I want to find this now.
It's a CSGO video. It's fucking hilarious.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop here with my stuff.
Of course.